and well met and welcome. I'm gonna hit it again just for emphasis. I'm excited to see you all here at Severed Threads Notes from the Black Ballad. If this is your first time joining us, welcome. If this is not your first time, I hope you've seen the other episodes. This is episode 4, and we are just getting started. I wish that was true. We're actually not going to get through the entire Black Ballad, the incredible module that we're all playing, published by Storyteller's Forge. It is right here. But this is we hope, a good showcase of what it is. This group is certainly having a good time playing it, and I'm sure you will as well. Would also shout out to Diamorte and Drake, the fellow who runs Diamorte, an amazing band that is providing all of the music that you're currently listening to. They have written a soundtrack specifically for this module, and it rocks. Hope you are enjoying it. Also want to give a shout out to Kai. She has done an amazing job with our character art. And you should definitely check her out if you are into such things, because art is cool. And that is it as far as our sponsors are concerned and other people to thank. I think we should go ahead and get started introducing our players, or reintroducing our players. Who shall we start with this time? I think it will be Soku.
Hi, I'm Soku, and I work on World of Tanks, which you should play, always. You might find me on there.
Very cool. I also found out recently that Soku is a big World of Warcraft fan. It pains me to say, but it's almost okay to call that old school now. But boy, did I waste. I want to say
words right there, Sean.
I wouldn't say I wasted a lot of hours playing that game, but I certainly know people who played it more than I do. But man, it takes me back. Next, we are going to go with Samus Haddad.
Hi, my name is Samus. I am an opera singer and educational equity fundraiser based in Chicago, and I am also involved in a wonderful little D&D podcast called Echoes of Kryn, with one
That
MEDM.
would be me. I am the DM for that podcast, a fantastic actual play podcast that takes place in the world of Dragonlance. For those of you who are here from Echoes of Kryn, there might be a surprise for you later on today. I don't want to give too much away, but just might be seeing somebody make an appearance here in the Sunless Crossing. Next up, we will have Jessie.
Hi, I'm Jessie. I do nothing on the internet except for this. You know me from nothing else. I don't.
We are so grateful.
And
Know me from nothing else.
know me from nothing. I'm a nobody.
And thank goodness for that.
But
You might recognize me from such appearances as Nothing and Never
As
and
Nope and
But I love playing games with Medium so much that I agreed to do this, and it's so much fun.
it is. Thank you very much. Next up, we will have. You know what? I think I'm gonna, rather than have you be the last and not least, we're gonna have you be the next to last and the least. Ryan, go ahead.
Knew it.
I knew it. Hi, I'm Ryan, the next to last and not least this time. I'm an actor manager with the Ohio Shakespeare Festival, owner and operator of Buckle and Rose Leather Goods, and the father of 2 amazing gremlin kids with my partner Tess. And I love rolling the clickety clacks with Medium here. So
It's all right to call me Sean. It's all right.
Medium Sean.
Medium
Sean.
One of these days, I'll break out full Sean, but I don't think you all are ready for that.
Oh,
We're just
nobody's
the
ready
old
for that.
skull at that point.
Exactly.
Yes,
Ryan, how do people find Buckle and Rose?
they find it on Etsy
Very good.
at
And now-
thebuckleandrose.com.
Last and not least, Tess.
Hi, I'm Tess, and I did make his 2 gremlin children. They're the best things ever, and also we're permanently sleep deprived. I also run Ohio Shakespeare Festival. We're doing spooky season right now, so we got lots of spooky ghosty shows going on, and it is my favorite thing. So if you're anywhere near Akron, Ohio, and you like Halloween, you gotta check us out.
Very cool. Thank you all very much. Very grateful for all of you to be here. Um, Before we get started, I want to tell everybody that if you go to Storytellers Forge Discord, which you will find in the chat right now, and mention this stream, Severed Threads, then you will be entered into a raffle to learn to win something cool from them. They've got a lot of neat things in their store, but they also have a series of books that they're trying to get going with backer kit at the moment, trying to get crowdfunded. Chronicles of the Crossing. It's going to be a set of novels that take place in this world, dealing with the sort of things that the players are dealing with right now. Very cool, and it will be going live shortly. But they have plenty of other awesome things that they could give away, so definitely get into the Discord, mention Severed Threads, enter that giveaway. If you like dice, there's another giveaway that you can enter. You could come to my Discord. Again, link in the chat, mention Severed Threads, and you'll be entered into a giveaway to win some cool dice. And I think we can all agree that we all need more dice in our lives. All that being said, I think there is nothing left to do but begin. My friends, it is time. I extend my hand, inviting you to step with me into fantasy. Release your hold on that which you know to be true, and let imagination rule for the next few hours. Last time, the adventurers are dead. They are in a land known as the Sunless Crossing, a in-between place. As it has been said to them, they are here, but they have not yet arrived. They need to find more about themselves, deal with issues they might have personally, or frankly, they might be resurrected, and this land serves as a stopgap for those souls that have the potential to be resurrected, but not have passed on, so they're not ripped from whatever their eternal afterlife is supposed to be when that occurs. They traveled with the help of their shepherd, Johann Maro, first enduring the terrible maelstrom of the winds of Rue, then reaching the Atonement Grove, where they were able to speak with their unsullied visage and learn more about the events that had happened to them as they really did, as opposed to how they remembered them. They then traveled from there to a place called the Junction, a massive inn and tavern where they met Quella Pern, the proprietress there. There they were also came under attack by some horrible undead creatures known as Crimson Wraiths Crimson Whites, that attacked the Junction en masse, and the group was given special magical toys, magical weapons and items to help them deal with that. This was given to them by the spectral forms of the godless monarchy, the Arbiter Arbiter Ashlyn, and not Arbiter. That's right. By the Sunless Monarchy. There's so many different nouns to deal with this. The Godless Monarchy. Arbiter Valen the Jade and Sovereign Ashlyn recognized these people as people of potential power, and it recruited them to help defend the Junction, which they did. However, one of their number fell, but instead of becoming unconscious, just the way normal death occurs, here in the Sunless Crossing, it appears that when you die, your body turns to ash and you are gone for a period of 24 hours. The adventurers had to endure another wave of attacks, these from horrible void ravagers, that came and began to eat reality itself. But they succeeded. They were victorious, and after waiting a tense 24 hours for their companion to join them, they made their way to Nox Valar. Nox Valar being the city of the souls that live in this, or I should say, that exist in this area. And they have spent some time exploring it. First, they had to receive their crossway coins, get their position in line to meet with the keepers of the eternal sand. But now that that is done, they have the opportunity to explore and acclimate. Now, as you recall, friends, you are being housed in a place called the Tenements.
Mm-hmm.
There is a town square in this area of Nox Valar, and the Tenements are not the nicest place, but they're certainly not the worst by any measure. They are serviceable, comfortable beds, clean beds, rooms that you have to share, facilities that you have to share, but the food is plentiful and hearty, and it is run by a little gnome woman named Binny, one of these elderly women that when they smile, their cheeks come up and their eyes go right away. You can't imagine that they can see when they smile. There are other places that you could stay, but they are a bit harder to get into. The tenements are provided for all new souls that arrive in Nox Valar by a generous expenditure of resources and power by the godless monarchy. I would love to know what you all do over the next several days, perhaps even longer, as you come to terms and understanding of what life here in Nox Valar is. I think we will begin with Jack. Jack, what are you up to as your Ashen Shepherd, Johan, drops you all off at the tenements, wishes you good luck, and tells you, I'll be checking in from time to time, and just making sure you're all acclimating to the best of everyone's comfort. So, I'll see you. And as you acquire questions, keep them in your mind, and perhaps I'll be able to answer them. I wish you the very best of stays here in the city of Nox Valar. Good day. And he lopes away. Jack.
Two things. One, oh, humble DM. I feel like you buried the consequence on saying, like, when you die. It's like, oh, it's not when you die. It's when you drop to 0, you are insta-gone. Like,
yeah.
No next turn, no
death
friend
saves.
doing an action to be like, oh, hey,
Nope.
here's a healing word. Get yourself back up, bud. No, it is...
That is the Black Ballad. That is what the Storytellers Forge, the people who wrote it, decided they wanted to see what D&D 5th edition would be like if death actually mattered. So.
Y'all, it is horrifying. So,
well, yeah, we all didn't take it seriously too. Like she went down.
No,
and we were
yeah,
like,
no,
oh
we were in
shit,
this fight
okay,
where,
gotta
like,
get a
You
healing.
want to hear something crazy?
As a cleric,
I'm so
I was
used.
like, I can just pop people back up. It's so easy.
Yeah, I'm so used to as the DM when people going down just automatically saying, "Oh, great, unconscious, prone, and dying."
Yeah.
And I said that right. The whole point of the Black Ballad is this incredible difference between this world and others, and it happened. And it took me a second to be like, "Oh, wait, yeah, that's right." Oh,
no, because like, how many times do you have a character drop and be like, "Oh, okay, someone needs to send them a healing word," and we'll just
countless times.
We'll just keep getting them back up to 7 hit points every time, and don't worry, they'll get through this fight. And it's just like, you're fucking dust on the wind the minute you hit 0. It's
we're
just
playing in honor mode, guys. Like we're getting those
double
old
to
dice.
Oh, heroic mode.
Well, let that be a warning to you. Try not to get into too much trouble here in Nox Valar.
Bar fight.
No bar fights.
Yeah. Nope.
So far, all the trouble has come to us.
I mean,
for the record.
I'm just, also, I'm just saying, climate change is rough in Nox Valar right now. A lot of things getting fucked up. So, but that being said, as thoroughly charming as Benny Whistledown is, I'm going to go ahead and head to, I believe it's called The Low, which is the Fey-style lodging, which you offered up as an option, which, of course, I believe can only be gained entrance to through an audition, you say?
Indeed. Johan told you a little bit about it, and you can find out some more information from passers-by, but indeed, Velo is actually the name of an entity, a Fey spirit, an archfey individual that is passed on and is here as a soul, but an extremely
it's not-
powerful one.
This would-
And
Is there
Right.
any chance it's the giant turtle that we helped ease into?
I suppose there's a chance. It could very well be that. A small chance.
So what you're saying is there's a shell of a chance?
Oh, God.
Mm.
Not
Not
anymore.
anymore.
The chance just evaporated.
You just killed the turtle again.
Again.
The worst euphemism, but yes. Stop
Yes,
killing
yes.
the turtle, Ryan.
Hashtag stop killing the turtle.
Hashtag kill the turtle. No, yeah. No,
Um,
no.
Yes,
Let's
Velo
not make that trend.
literally is her neighborhood. She infuses this entire neighborhood with her essence, and it is a mecca and a paradise for artists.
Oh,
It is.
Oh.
You, as you walk into it, the very moment you step into the cobblestones that
Yeah.
make up this neighborhood, they begin to glow underneath your feet, letting out a soft sort of.
I'm imagining a very like Baz Luhrmann kind of presentation as we just sort of go through like the opening credits of Moulin Rouge, really.
Then, of course, the homes and the apartments here are much larger and more lavish than the tenements by far. But you see little hillocks with artists painting and poets contemplating. There's music. There are people around a fountain that are chatting and sharing artwork. As you are walking by some of these houses, you recognize that some of the wood that these houses appear to be made of are actually the same wood and resonant wood that you would find many instruments to be made out of. So the acoustics inside these dwellings must be incredible.
Oh,
But
it's beautiful. Now,
A-
DM, would I
Go
know,
ahead.
knowing with my history of the Fae, would I know who or have knowledge of who the Low is, or is this entity from a bygone era that?
I suppose it's possible. Why don't you roll a history check for me?
Oh, don't mind if I do. All right, so roll my Witchlight die here. Okay, so that is an 11 on the die, which, if the gods are kind and my skills are plentiful. Yeah,
Hold your
how
breath,
dare
buddy.
you? I'm sorry, Sean, was that history or
History.
history? A 13, which feels
13.
prophetically
it's
Fae. But
Not really. You
yeah,
must
Yeah.
have been someone very important, but or at least self-important, perhaps.
so you're saying I don't get
We
the
know how-
lowdown?
No, we don't know. You know how artists are, but you ask around, and it becomes clear right away. That most of the people that you encounter here, they are friendly, but there's a sort of, oh yes, I'm sorry, you do have to audition. It's not community theater. It's
It's true, yeah. Oh. Oh,
A read.
so.
Communicable
So
theater.
you ask around and are directed to one of these dwellings, one of these buildings that there's a long line extending out of, and you take your place. As everywhere else here in Knoxville are, you could just get a coin and come back later, but
oh, this is going to be the death of me again.
As you are waiting in line here, a little mote of light sort of floats past, and you watch as a bunch of artists or people in line look at it longingly, and then look at the place in their line, and you see several of them actually break out of line and move towards where this floating ball of light is, and your place gets a little further in as people leave their place.
No takesy backsies.
Yeah, presumably they're able to retake their place if they have their coin, but they do go chasing after this ball. It allows you to, at least for the time being, get a little bit closer. But as you are waiting in line, and as the days go by, where you do one audition and make your way up to the next level, there you spend a lot of time in cramped corridors with lots of aspiring artists going over lines, going over music,
Nice.
sitting. And there's never enough seating, so you're all just standing around or trying to find little corners of this building
So-
to
Is this one taken?
practice.
No.
But let's say
This is crossing
exactly,
idol.
exactly after.
Will I
The
get an
third-
email either way, or
Yeah.
After
Thank you.
the-
Thank you so much. Just happy to be seen.
After the third or fourth day, you've made your way several iterations in, and this line feels different. There's definitely a professionalism to it. You've been dealing with a lot of people who are good, but not on your level. But these
Yeah.
people, just looking around, you see the way they carry them, the quality of their instruments. They're definitely of more of your caliber. And as you are standing in line, you begin to become aware of a little bit of a commotion happening behind you. Somebody appears to be steadily making their way forward in the line. What do you do?
Just sort of peer behind me to see what the fracas is.
So you catch a glimpse of an incredibly colorful skirt that is making its way up this line, and a couple of, excuse me, pardon, you like this? Would you like? And you may take over now as I introduce everyone to Panda, here on loan from Echoes of Kryn for a special guest appearance.
Hello.
Say
Oh.
hello.
I was hoping for a Teely cameo. That's
There you are.
So as you turn around, you see me making my way up this queue. I am trading places with people as I get behind someone, reaching into my pouches.
If you want to swap places, I could give you this and we could trade and then,
And she just jingles as she walks, as she's just constantly handing out more and more of her things, seemingly an endless supply of resources from her pouches. Anything from like little crystals, little marbles, to pieces of food, and you have no idea how old they are. Just all different kinds of things from her pouches making her way through this queue.
This is significant, Jack, because as you recall, when you arrived, you only had 5
Mhm.
things, and they were of significance. This individual is giving away tons of things.
Yeah.
And
No, I lost
as
my
you
favorite
get
straw.
as you get a close look at her, she once again possesses this vitality that you saw in Kella. Not so much that she doesn't glow per se, but by contrast, everyone else around you has a little bit of a muted quality, yourself included. You suspect this individual is in fact alive.
What are you doing here?
I make my way behind you and I look to you.
oh, hi, do you want to trade place? Oh,
And she begins checking every pouch and turning them upside down, and it seems I have run out of things to give.
I'm here to meet with Philo. I imagine you're doing the same?
Yes, that is the purpose of the lines here. No, my question, outside of the obvious, is more due to the luminescent quality with which you seem to possess.
Thank you. That's really
I-
kind. I guess I do have that kind of quality in me. A lot of people see it, and yeah, I guess especially here, it just seems to really shine.
Oh, yeah. No, very lively. Curious. I've only met one other individual in this entire place. Correct, DM?
So far, yes.
Okay, so far, yeah. So I've only met one other person in this entire place who has this sort of living, breathing quality to them. I'm just amazed.
That's because I am. I'm not dead like you. That would suck. Ooh.
Ah. That's right, yeah. She has no weapons.
Tell her like it is.
She has no weapons, and yet she cuts.
So what
It occurs to you-
happened? Did you just
So then
like
how-
fall or something? Is it embarrassing?
No, I was poisoned. Betrayed, actually. At the height of success, having captured the crown of... I don't need to bore you with the details. But the thing is I was betrayed. Here we are. My party and I, we're sort of figuring things out. We've actually saved a bunch of people already. Party business. But my question, I repeat, is how, as a living person, the only other person I met here was a mage of incredible power and stunning good looks, and she runs a bar, which just makes sense, but you're just here and auditioning, no less. So wait, are you auditioning?
Well, I mean, kinda. I mean, is it really an audition when you know you're gonna get in? Like, if you're gonna get the place.
Oh,
I
yeah,
mean,
of course. Right.
so, well, I am alive. You got that right. And, I wanted to come here because below, I have something of hers, and I want to learn more about it. And, let's just say that thing I have kind of helped me get here, and it's just, I guess you could say I'm really powerful too.
No doubt. Which is why you got in with all your bits and bobs still attached.
Well, yeah, I mean, all I had to do was just play a song to get here. It's really not that difficult.
Wow, you played a song that sent you to the land of the dead?
Well, yeah, but I mean, I have a purpose to be here. I just gotta kind of find my way out.
I see. So wait, walk that back a little bit. So you have to find your way out of the land of the dead. Can't you just play a song to get back?
I mean, maybe I'm kind of, I want to learn this song, you see, and below, my harp, my lyre, and she will hold it, and you'll see that it doesn't have any strings. It's just the outline of a lyre with no strings to it. This was
DM.
hers. Sorry, go on.
No, DM, what I know of this harp.
This lyre that she has?
Yeah, this lyre.
It looks like well loved. There's a utilitarian quality to it. There's not much design, not much embellishment, and it clearly has no strings. But it is a lyre, rather old style lyre, but
simply because I'm a fanboy of your Echoes of Kryn stream. I know of the history of this LARP as the character, and I was just like, this is a legendary freaking item in front of me. But not nerding out at all. So
it occurs to you, Jack, that if you are going to be competing against an actual living person for an audience with Velo, regardless of whether or not it's to get a place in this neighborhood to stay or what, you're gonna have your work cut out for you.
Might need to be a liar too.
But you're gonna have to come up with better material than that if you want to meet with Velo, Jack.
What are you talking about? I'm meeting with Velo. I don't need better material.
So, continue.
Okay, so, well, that is a fascinating instrument, especially if you claim you can play it.
Oh, yeah, I mean, and she'll hold it out and run her hand over where there would be strings, and you hear a melody come from it.
Indeed, and it is a melody that strikes a deep chord with you, Jack. You've never heard it before.
Which chord?
You don't think you've heard it before, but it seems somehow familiar. Like maybe you should be familiar with it. It goes da 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 dum dum da 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 dum dum da 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 dum 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 da 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 dum. And it seems clear that Teely just plucked some random strings, but this is the melody that pops out.
That is haunting.
Thank you. I get that a lot.
Yeah, no, and amazing.
It is pretty cool.
an incredibly made up human, perhaps? They have so much makeup on, it's really hard to tell. Not like this, but other have so much makeup on, it's really hard to tell exactly what species
With Liberty
they are.
Spikes walks up the aisle. No.
Exactly. Comes with a little notepad and growing notes. I'm afraid Velo only has time to see one more person today. So those of you who have your coins, please, come back tomorrow. We'll just keep you in the same line, whatever you want. Well, not whatever you want, whatever, just go away. Except for, let's see, 2 people. Who should it be? Who should it be? You hear a voice. I'm sorry, I was in the front of the line. Yes, no, you're excused. But I've been waiting a bit. No, you're not going to do. This individual's gaze lands on the 2 of you. It says, a fairy and a kender. Haven't had one of those in a long time. All right. One of you may visit with Velo today. Which of it will it be?
I do apologize, my most beauteous individual. However, we are a pair. This is a duet, an act of one unconceivable ingenuity.
Well, that might be true, but Velo only has room for 1. So, best break that act up.
You would sunder the very chords between the 2 of us?
Or
a partnership?
Move on to someone else.
Oh, good God.
I mean, I'll take the place.
Well, I don't mean to be rude, but I am, of course, in front of you, in line, if we're going specifically by order.
Well, but the thing is that you're dead, and you're not gonna get any older, whereas I have time to lose, so I think I should go ahead.
Well, truthfully, by the rules of this place, I think being dead gives me a little more urgency to figure out my place. You being alive, I have no doubt you'll make your way back down here eventually.
But I have something that Velo, and I turn to the man with the makeup, that Velo would find very interesting, an heirloom of hers perhaps, and she would be very happy to have someone bring it, and someone who allowed someone to bring it.
Is that true?
Well, yes.
Make a persuasion check for me.
Oh gosh, okay. That is a 26.
Whoa.
Well, what the little ferryman here says is true. He is in line, and I suppose if we are going by the rules, we must honor the rules. And you hear them like, but I was further. But I must admit, that is fascinating. Something of Velo's from her life? She would be absolutely thrilled. I think the only way to come to an agreement here is to have a little impromptu bard off. Everyone make space. The 2 of you will perform. Whichever of you performs the best, you will be the winner and meet with Velo today. The other one will have to wait, along with everyone else.
I can't believe we're missing a bard.
I know.
I know, right?
Well, this happens
totally tailed
over
Jack.
the course of, it's very possible that you could have
4
happened
days.
to have been walking by at this point. Unusual to see Jack waiting in line anywhere, probably worth teasing him at least a little bit.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. If nothing else, yeah.
I begin to sweat a little bit as I had prepared this song for Velo to then sing it not to Velo. She just thinks in her mind like,
Okay, I have other songs I can sing. I have other things. Yeah, bring it.
I love
All right,
her
it sounds
so
like she's calling you out, Jack.
The spice is out.
Well, I couldn't possibly engage in a battle of wits. At least.
You see,
Not
come
again.
unarmed.
Hmm. Yes, do begin.
Would you like
Who's
to go
going
first?
first?
Oh, well, I mean, you've got the pulse, so I figured I'd give you the courtesy.
Okay.
And she will stand proudly, holding her lyre.
Well, I had something ready for below, but I guess I could
Oh,
give a little
you may play it
teaser.
for me. That's fine.
Well, it doesn't really make sense to you, but I could. I mean, I
I
have
can
other
still
things.
appreciate, well, whatever you like. I can appreciate the artistry with whatever you play, or the lack thereof.
Okay, well, I tell you what. Actually, you can you can tell me what you think, and if she'll like it, and then we can work on it together, maybe, or something. Okay, so this is what I was thinking, right? Okay, and no hard feelings, fairy guy. I know I'm gonna win, but
It's pronounced Jack.
Jock
Yuck.
makes sense.
Hmm.
Okay, yuck. Watch this.
Yeah.
That's my new favorite.
Teely will, and I will note that when she says these things, there's no real venom behind her words. She seems to be enjoying this play of sass and banter. She doesn't mean to be rude or anything like that.
No barred feelings.
Okay, I like that one.
Don't encourage him.
So she begins to strum her lyre. Oh gosh, okay. Teely isn't nervous, I am.
Yeah, right. Heard.
Hey, hello, I'm Teely, straight from Kryn.
Oh my gosh, sorry, my dog just decided now would be a great time to shake.
Hey, baby, it's okay.
He's accompanying you.
That was an assist roll.
It really was. Do
Drum
I get
solo.
advantage?
Hey, hello, I'm Teely, straight from Kryn, and now that I'm here, let this tale begin. I got my lyre, yeah, the strings friend. No!
Oh, I'll let you start one more
I'm
time.
gonna have one more time, and I'm gonna do it.
Go a little bit slower. Give
I'm
yourself
sorry.
a deep
All
breath.
right.
You're doing
Thank you.
great.
Hey, hello, I'm Teely, straight from Kryn, and now that I'm here, let this tale begin. I got your lyre, yeah, my stringless friend, but your secrets and power I just can't comprehend. I heard your name in whispers, floating through the mist, below the fae who could not resist. The music, the rhythm, the magical spark, even though you're gone, know you left your mark. So here I stand, in front of you, lyre in hand, asking for help in this shadowed land. The city's humming, and the beats below, but getting stuck here, that would really blow. I heard the whispers, the hums in the air, like something's creeping, hiding, but I won't scare. So below, hear me out, making my plea. Unlock the lyre and set magic free. With your help, I'll escape this place and get out of here with a smile on my face.
Amazing!
Yes.
It would have been better if I didn't mess up every time.
No, it was fun.
You built
Yes,
anticipation.
Exactly.
I loved it.
Wow,
I'm
that
so
was
impressed.
fantastic, Panda. Teely,
Yeah.
roll a performance check with all the advantage.
Oh, the advantage. Oh my gosh, thanks, Arthur. Okay, advantage. Good. We love advantage. All right. So with my performance, that would be a maths. 19 plus 13. Why can't my brain do it?
32.
30.
32. Yeah.
I'm an accountant.
Oh,
Thank you. I'm not.
all right. As Teely
Jack roll.
finishes, there is a roar of applause from the people in line, and the
Thank
The,
you.
uh,
Thank you.
non-gender specific individual who's in front watches and raises an eyebrow and gives a slight clap. She says, "That was very impressive."
Thanks. Although I'm sure Yuck will do just great. I mean,
Yes, let's hear from Yuck. Just at this moment, you see Wynn walking by, Jack.
and he's
Yeah,
thinking hard.
What's that?
I just showed up, and I come up to you and I say, "Are you competing with this living girl?"
No.
Well,
I'm glad you're here.
and she kind of takes you by the shoulders, but you got tiny shoulders, so she's like that. And she's like, "Hey, make me proud." And then if you were life size, she would and not fun size, she would give you a little slap on the cheeks. And then instead she just kind of with her finger and then says, "Do me proud," and makes you go out there.
Oh, is this your girlfriend?
That is disgusting.
No, she is. She's the kindest soul I have ever met.
She kind of frowns at that.
Well, it's nice to meet you. I'm
And she'll
Tilly
kill me if I ever
Tumblewood.
tell anybody that. So.
Good for you.
Good people of Noxvillar. Behold, it's Teely Tumblewick. She has a hoopak. It's called a stick. She'll throw and she'll fling, just hold on to your things. She is a kender, a bit of a mind bender, but with all of her pockets, all of her trinkets and lockets, she comes with a pulse and questions, of course. But I seek a plot, just a small, humble spot, for of course, I'm a hero and my name is Yak.
Amazing.
I hop on my feet excitedly, clapping really happily.
That was really good, actually.
Thank you.
I
You
did
really
not
had me sweating
expect
there.
it with
Not the
hair.
actually.
That hair really threw me off.
Wow. Roll a performance check at advantage, please, Jack. That was, or Yuck, that was amazing.
Oh, come on,
like
his dog didn't help out. Why does he get
Oh.
advantage?
Oh my god. All right, so with advantage, I rolled a 1 and a 4.
Oh
so,
my god.
yeah,
Oh.
even with my plus 12, it's just a 16.
Oh.
So,
We know you did better than
Yeah.
that. Though.
Well,
I mean, she's
it
living.
is a fine performance, Jack. But there's just something about being alive. that gives
Being
Teal-
alive.
Yes.
someone to put me in a backpack.
It seems clear that
Oh, yeah.
Teely has won this particular bard off, and the individual confirms as such. He looks at you and says, "Just want to say that
Link.
while we've said this in the past, this time it really is the truth that we wish we could take everyone.
Oh, God. I mean,
But a decision must be made, and unfortunately we decided to go in a different direction than you, and we wish you best luck next time. Come with me!" And he reaches out a hand to you, Teely, and begins to bring you to the head of the line.
no, thank you. I was just happy to be seen. It's love it.
Before I get dragged away, is there potentially anything that I have found that this man might appreciate?
A straw, my kingdom for a straw.
I tell you what, Jack managed to come to the Sun's Crossing and does not have with him his prized straw that allows him to drink easily from the flagons that are passed around here. One of the prized possessions that was not on his list of items that he could bring with him to the land of the dead. Do you think you might have a straw?
I'm more than certain I have a straw. The problem is I'm pretty sure Blip was the last one to use it, but he doesn't need to know that.
Oh no.
So Blip's straw. Oh.
It's more
So
like a hollow twig, but
yes.
she will just before being pulled away, she'll say,
Oh, just one thing. I do have one thing left, but no one was willing to trade their place for it. But you can have it. Here, this is for you.
God, I hope that's sap.
Sure. I mean, why not? Look, I just want to say that was actually really good, and
No, and well deserved.
thank you. And Yuck, I hope that when you get to see Velo, that she will do whatever it is that you're waiting in line for.
Truly. And Teely, I hope I don't see you here anytime soon.
Thank you. Maybe in the future. Hopefully a long time from now.
Long time from now, yes.
And she will skip away and wave happily to Yak and the friend companion who was there to cheer him along.
She's you may not Win is grandmotherly. She is she's got grandma vibes.
All the more reason to
I
ask
love
if
it.
he's
Though.
your,
No, it's a great
if
question.
you're the boyfriend.
Well, wrinkles are like a good thing for Kenders. They see that as like attractive. It's like wisdom age. So he's like, oh, he would have done good to get her.
Well, with that, the colorful and vivacious Teely disappears further into the area known as Velo, and Jack, you are left in line again for another day or series of days. Surely you will meet with Velo soon, but in the meantime, this is a lovely place to wait, and another little mote of light begins to just sort of float past you. Just so you see them every now and then just appear in this area, just floating around, multicolored, reflecting a little bit of the storm above you.
Can I make an Arcana check on these, DM, to see if I can recognize? Or
Make a perception check. Probably your better bet here.
Well, I'm not going to tell you how to make my life easier. So. Let's see here. Oh man, I'm rolling garbage tonight. That is.
Can I give him Bardic Inspiration?
Sure.
From the straw?
Yeah, from the straw.
Yeah, the gift of the straw. I love it.
I just imagine. What is your Bardic Inspiration die, Teely?
You know what? That is a great
It's
question.
going to be a D10 at this point.
It's a great question. Yeah.
It'd be the same as yours.
Yeah.
Oh, D10. Nice.
I leveled up just for this.
Oh man, I would kill to see like a level 10 too. That would be.
Oh, it's broken. Honestly, it's
yeah, no. Oh, absolutely. You just gave me a
Terrified for all of
9
us.
for that inspiration, so that's delightful. Okay, so then DM, that is going to be. Oh, I must math now. Let's see here. 21.
21. There is something about this light, little golden, silver, and then sometimes multicolored. It radiates positivity. It radiates inspiration.
Interesting.
Am I literally seeing like Bardic Inspiration flying around?
Might be.
Oh, that's freaking cool.
Can you?
Yeah, can you like catch it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eat it.
Yeah.
Eat it.
Eat it.
Yeah, like can.
Sure.
Is it just-
you want to reach out and get it? As you reach for it, it begins to move away, almost as if your hand in the current of air pushes away like a balloon. So make an acrobatics check for me.
Acrobatics?
Suddenly it makes sense why all the people in line were trying to chase after it.
No kidding. Oh, that was off the table. All right, that is going to be a 18.
An 18, you manage to catch this. As you do, it disappears and absorbs into your hand. You watch your hand actually glow, and you can watch the glow travel up your arm and onto your shoulder, and it comes to rest right in your heart. You have a bardic inspiration that you may use that is separate now from your regular list of your regular bank of bardic inspiration. So even when you run out of your bardic inspiration, you'll still have this one. You can use this one to inspire yourself.
I was going to say, I was like, so my question, Sean, is it do I have a D10?
Yeah.
Or do I have an additional bardic inspiration to give
You
to
have
someone?
an additional bardic inspiration to give to someone, but you can also give it to yourself.
Oh. That's nice. It's always good when you can inspire yourself. So.
And with that, we'll bring your time exploring Knoxville. Obviously, you will have done other things and seen other things, and you may even appear in other people's little explorations if you think Jack might be there for some reason.
Yeah,
we'll bring that to a close.
No, I definitely. Telia's put a smile on Yak's face as he goes ahead and continues to hum that melody throughout his days as he continues this audition process.
And
the sound of bells is never far from his ear.
We extend a very fond thank you to Panda and loaning us Steely Tumblewood for a little while.
Thanks for having me.
That was awesome.
That was
So
really cool.
Lovely to have the vertically challenged drag queen in our party briefly.
Thank you.
See you around.
Bye.
Love you, friend.
All right.
Fun.
Let's move on now to Dusk. What will you be doing over the next few days, if not weeks, in Knoxville as you explore?
I probably have a hard time getting away from Dawn.
Oh my god.
Well, maybe not.
Dawn
But-
probably disappeared from you faster than you'd expect her to once we had some free time. So you probably have free time faster than you think.
Did she just leave me? She didn't even tell me where she was going. Ugh. I'm going to walk out. Not exactly sure what I want to do out in Knoxville. Probably at first just looking around, wondering, like, what's the point of this place? And then realizing this is the city of beliefs and of all different types. So, going to do a look and see, is there a temple to Savras?
Well, as Johan explained, here right in the center of Knoxvillar, where this enormous tree is, the Etherwood, is what he referred to it as. As you approach it, you will recall that around it is the road to eternity, and you see dozens and dozens and dozens, if not hundreds of temples. There are some that are truly enormous and some that are small, but would actually be full-sized, impressive temples in any of the major cities in Faerun. But compared to some of these other ones, they look like just little service buildings. Make a perception check as you wander, observing all of these. Oh, what did you roll, my dear?
A nat one.
Oh.
Okay. I wish I had advantage on that because that now would have been a nat 20. Why do I have to be?
Oh no, the 1 in the 20.
Man, we're just rolling D2s at this point. It's
So you wander
I've
around this
infected you.
area. The road itself is perfectly circular, and the entire diameter of the circle is a mile as it goes around. And between the pathway and the tree at the Etherwood, there is a perfectly clear, seemingly bottomless pool of water. And as you look at it, you can see the storms above reflecting down on it. Most people aren't paying much attention to it. They're looking at the various temples, and again, you see lines and lines everywhere. It seems that even here, those who are wanting to speak with the various monks and religious personages that deal with these temples have to wait as well. But as you wander around, you certainly don't see anything that would show anything having to do with Savras. You're looking for his symbol, this crystal ball with the eyes in it. You don't see it. But for some reason, your crystal, this piece, this shard of Savras, from whence you draw your power. It seems to be resonating a little bit more, and almost despite, or almost without really realizing it, it guides you a bit. And you find yourself in an area in between some of these temples, almost like an alleyway. And you find discarded, almost collected. They're arranged. Something purposefully put them here, but the small, anemic, and ruined, for want of a better term, symbols of a lot of holy symbols that you don't recognize. They're little tablets, or perhaps even pieces of shrine, or even you see what looks to be some sort of metallic skull that has a golden helm, a golden crown on it, 2 red ruby eyes. It might actually be something of value, but it clearly was a item of importance, a holy relic perhaps. But they're arranged away from the road to eternity, away from all of the major temples. You find a collection of these lost little remnants of shrines and temples, and there you find a small circular etching on a piece of stone that reminds you very much of the symbols of Savras that you have seen in the past.
How populated is this area?
You look around, you don't see anybody. You can see the main thoroughfare not too far away. If you were to shout, someone would hear you, but right here where you are, you're relatively alone.
I'll kneel down, stare at it for a little bit. Why are you here? And I'll grab the stone.
All right. As you reach out and touch the stone, there is a sound of a throat being cleared behind you.
I ignore it.
Let me try again.
I'll turn my head and look.
You see a dragonborn, green skin. It's got the frills, the side of the face, and cone going back, wearing a robe, nondescript reddish fabric. He's wearing appears to be a holy symbol, which is an Ouroboros, with a snake eating its own tail. Green. Looks down at you as one of his eyes is opaque, like it has a cataract of some sort, but looking at you. I see you found my collection.
You all know these?
Know them. Remember them, perhaps. These are trophies, I suppose would be an appropriate word, but I don't necessarily think it's the right one. I put them here so that I could come and gaze upon progress. Remembrances
Progress?
more than trophies.
What do you mean by progress?
The old giving way to the new. It is the way of existence. In order for the future to grow, it must take root in the dust of the past. These gods, Eomar, Mellifleur, others, even points to the symbol you have, Savras. Dead gods. Pieces of them remain. I sense you have such a piece with you. I found some similar ones.
Did you?
I did.
how did you come to have them?
They came to me. I was lost. I had been enduring troubles. But when I found these, I was able to put myself right. I used the power of these specks of dead deities to increase my own. And now I am a loyal servant of Jormungandr, the world servant.
So, from understanding that means that there is no temple to Savras?
No. The temples, the trappings, the circumstance and pomp of these deities is in the past. Take what power remains of the dead god that you have and forget. That is the best way.
I guess I can't really disagree too much, considering that I am in fact dead, but up until very recently, I guess I can say I was a follower.
That is
Savras.
foolish. Jormungandr teaches us that all must fall. These have fallen. Why would you follow the fallen?
You can't just forget them just because they're fallen.
Why not?
Because that's stupid. You can't forget history.
Raises an eyebrow. It says, you should guard your tongue. While it is true that the souls that walk here do so without the trappings of their mortal masks, there are those who travel in guises not as they actually are. You never know who you might be speaking with.
So what, someone will be offended that I follow a dead god?
Not offended, no. But the tenets of my faith, I do not think they are worth the name stupid.
I'm sorry. It was more a statement on being told that my faith is foolish.
A fair point. What do you intend to do with this fragment of the god that I can sense on your person?
Give it strength. I have been for a while. And the stronger that I will grow, the more of my strength I will lend it.
To what purpose? Why give it your strength? What is your goal? I absorbed the fragments of gods that I found, and it gave me power. And I used that power to teach and bring about the end of all things.
DM, would I be aware of the potential that I can give this?
Maybe, maybe not. It really just comes down to what it is that you think. What are you doing? What is your end goal here? I think that might be a personal choice for you.
I plan to bring him anew.
To resurrect him. To create a new Savras. Out with the old, in with the new. Would it not be better to create a new god completely, or goddess? Perhaps, if this fragment is powerful enough, you could absorb it, and as I have, bring a power upon yourself. Leave Savras in the past.
I refuse that. I will lend him what strength I can. Hopefully, he will see my side of things. I don't quite feel like I would want to have that sort of mantle upon my forehead.
Well, if you do succeed, I will be bound to try and relegate Savros to the past where he belongs, where all the gods belong. A clean slate, so that that which is to come may have room to endure.
Well, I mean, if he is to come, then what future there is, maybe someone else will have to step down to make space for him.
I will pretend that that did not sound like a threat and bid you good day. As he says that, your staff, Hugo, the Staff of Dread, goes "Ah!" as something happens, and the resistance to fear that you enjoy because of the Staff of Dread seems to wither away, and there is a presence exuding from this figure in front of you, this green-skinned dragonborn that makes your legs turn into rubber, and it is all you can do to stay standing. He gives you a grave nod. I hope that we can find a way for us not to be enemies. But if we are, it's not something I'm overly concerned about. And he turns and walks away out of this alley. As he does, you can feel this wave of just presence and power that seems to exude from him fade away, and there's another
that was insane! Who was that guy? The Staff of Dread, now known as Hugo, has never felt such a terrifying presence! Ah!
And he goes silent.
I can only imagine you have so many friends. And then I'll look at the stone that has Savros' symbol. And it seems like I keep making more friends too. And do I get the sense that I should be putting that stone back into the little pile?
I leave that to you. This
I
individual,
want to take the stone
this
with
individual
me.
whose name you never got, does not, that didn't seem to tell you not to.
Well, this is mine now.
All right, so you take, it's about 6 inches in diameter, roughly circular shaped, of a dark stone, and it has an embossment, not embossment, a bas relief of a crystal. What you interpret to be a crystal is really just a circle, and then there are a few eyes in the circle as well. But you're fairly certain this is the symbol of Savros.
Well, I mean, if anything now, I can't say that I didn't gain anything from this place. Did that guy just say that he eats gods?
Are you talking to me?
No, and I'll just leave.
Right.
Even though I'm still holding the staff,
Yeah.
but I'm leaving.
Okay.
I walk away from Hugo, just hold him behind me.
As you step out into the road here, the road to eternity. Once again, Hugo, wherever you go, if you go to a new place, there's a behind, and you have to physically turn him off. He will do it every time unless you tell him not to.
Oh my gosh.
At this point, it's probably easier for you to say when you don't turn it off.
I think like right then I had forgotten because I was kind of lost in thought, thinking about like, should I actively be on the lookout for green dragonborn that I should avoid at any given moment? So I am a little bit distracted, and he probably manages to let out a announcement.
It's just the first one.
You have disadvantage on all stealth checks from now on.
Yes. And I am a bit not heartbroken, but maybe crushed that this is all I found. So kind of looking down
amidst the grandeur and spectacle of the rest of these temples. You see one that's clearly to the sun, one that's clearly to the moon, several that you don't recognize. And again, a lot of these sun symbols, they are all variations of the sun symbol that you assume are for other gods and goddesses of the sun. But the sun seems to be a very popular choice for deities. Almost every pantheon has at least one. Yes, Savras, wherever his temple was, it is no longer upon the streets of the road to eternity.
Did I at some point see a temple to Azuf?
Yes, you would have seen Azuf. That's one of the smaller ones, a part of what appears to be a larger complex for gods of divination, and you assume regret is in there as well, as that is the domain that your sister follows.
I kind of look at it and go, ugh.
Actually,
walk back to the
largest one you see, you gather, looking at it and hearing people talk about, is for a god or goddess named Contrite or Contrite. That appears to be a particularly a god that has a particularly strong following that deals with regret here on the road to eternity.
Did I at any point see Dawn?
Not on this day. We'll say that your days have been spent on the road to eternity, walking around, looking and searching. So that natural one probably reflects how long it took you to actually find this one little alley. But during that time, you would have seen Dawn. You would have seen her back at the tenements. Yeah, you certainly have seen her around. But
so after having found this stone, after that point, I'm not looking for anything anymore, and I just find places like tea houses, if that's a thing.
There are places to eat and drink. There are taverns and places. A coffee house, sure.
Okay.
I can speak for Tess. If this place doesn't have coffee houses, she definitely doesn't want to be here. Yeah,
we're back in Avernus, guys. Like,
but
so that's probably the rest of her time is just going to all the various places that you can manage to get different types of tea.
Oh, very well. Let us move on then. Wynn, how do you spend the next several days and so on and so forth here?
Wynn is, in this capacity, highly predictable, and she wakes up the very next morning after our shepherd has left and puts on her clothes and has a very straightforward breakfast and waits a while to see if he'll show up to help take her to whatever archive or resources she can look for finding her potentially the soul or something to know where her lost daughter went. And if he doesn't show up right away, which I think he might not, she will just set out on her own and try and start asking folks where she could find information.
Well, as it so happens, Johann does remember saying that he would help you, and he does find you out in the square here. And as he comes walking up, you can't tell if he's smiling or not. He always has that skeletal grin on his face. He comes rather inscrutable. He comes towards you with his staff and gives you a nod and says, "Well now, I apologize. I have been busy. Large number of souls we saw cascading across the sky. I anticipate a very large influx within the next few hours, if not days."
I appreciate your time.
Well, you are my current wards. I imagine I will have to escort others, but that doesn't mean I can neglect those that I have already. So, now, You are looking for...
My daughter.
Now, did she do anything of special significance? Perhaps a heroic hero of some sort?
She was my daughter.
I don't know. Let me explain. I'm hoping that if we find our way into the line for the Codex, that if there was some historical event that she was a part of, we could find news of her there. She, the Codex of the Mortal Realms, all of the mortal realms that connect with the Sunless Crossing, has detailed histories and accounts of all of them.
She was...
And I assume that means it has the accountings of Knoxville and the Sunless Crossing itself. I have not spent much time there, I must admit, but it seems as good a place as any to start. That is to say, if she was historically significant.
She was 4.
Ah.
She
That-
was sick.
I see. My apologies. Well, in that case, if you are looking to see if she came through here, then I'm afraid the best chance of learning that is to wait your turn in line for the Keepers of the Eternal Sand. They will have a record of every soul that has passed through Sunless Crossing and then passed on. If she is here, they will find her. If she has passed on, they will tell you where.
Is there any way they'll be able to tell me what happened to her if she never came through here?
Well, now, for that, I suggest you look to individuals who can make contact with beings of great power, deities, and their like. If you have specific questions, divination magics are powerful, and if you find the right individual, you might be able to get an answer from the gods themselves.
Do you know where I might look for any of those individuals?
Well, there's the road to eternity. There are plenty of them there. But they also require obtaining a crossway coin and waiting your turn.
Happy to do it. Anything else before I go join these lines?
I wonder if I might distract you. It seems, waiting in line is definitely something that people do here in Knoxville, a lot of it, and, well, it might take some time, wouldn't you? I see you are a martial sort, and I certainly saw you in action at the junction. Perhaps a visit to the forges, the crag?
As soon as I get my
Weapons.
coins, I think that's wise.
I see. Well, very well. We will make our way to the road to eternity. And as well as dusk, you do make your way to the road of eternity. And as she did, you see numerous temples. More than you've ever seen in your entire existence. And Johann looks at them and says, was there one in particular, a deity that you were particularly, I don't know if close is the right word, a follower of, I suppose?
I've been so focused on trying to save any life that I could. After I lost Zaressa, I never thought of a deity specifically, though. Is there a deity of life?
Oh, well, certainly. Deities of life, deities of sun, rebirth, deities of death.
Who do you like best?
Oh. Well, I'm rather partial to there's a deity that I wouldn't say she is a patron of shepherds, but at least for me, she and our interests align. She's a goddess of wish. Her name is Jodin. She likes to let's say if you're dead and you have nothing less to lose, obviously, but you still choose to do good just for the sake of good, then she likes you. And she's also got lots of cats, which I like.
Seems fitting for this group.
Oh,
Yeah.
it just made me so happy.
Yeah. She sounds nice. Let's try that.
Oh, all right then. Very well. And he begins to take you in a direction and leads you to a temple of Jodin.
Wynn finally embraces her fate as the party's cat lady.
We've got a few of them.
You've never heard of this deity. You've certainly heard of wishes, but you've never heard of a goddess of wishing.
Mm-hmm.
But you do find a temple. And compared to some of the other temples here, it is small, but it's less that it's small and it's not ostentatious, as so many of these temples are. Each one of them is trying to outdo the other one. This one is small. It is it's made of shades of white marble, not really stark, not really bold either, and there's lots of plant life around it. Not that many green areas here in Nox Valar, but this is one of them. And as you're looking around,
just to be clear, Tess would be very into everything you just described. I'm not so sure about Wynn, but this is where I want to pray.
Okay, fair
plants.
enough.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
There are lots of symbols of cats cleverly hidden in the architecture, and of course a very, very long line. You are able to get a crossway coin that puts you officially in this line, and Johann says, well, now we've got that taken care of, and perhaps, and as he is about to direct your attention to somewhere else, you hear a voice.
My word! Is that wind here?
She turns around and looks.
And you see up near the front of the line a small gnome with an absolutely massive white beard. Looks just like like cotton candy or a cotton ball has just exploded on his face. He has a bald pate, a large nose, and eyebrows that extend far out the side of his head. He's wearing a cloak that appears to be made out of some sort of bat wing or perhaps even a demon wing. It has a gnarled staff that looks like a sapling tree with a root system that has been put up on its top, and it has a skull in it that is hanging upside down and little charms hanging down from the skull. And you look and you see it is Corcoran Pebblemoss.
Cool. Wait, is that? I love it. I freaking love it.
He looks. It is you. My goodness! I have a coin. I'll be back.
And he turns around, comes out of line, and comes waddling over to you. Looks like he's gonna run right up to you, and then he stops and thinks better of it. Oh yeah, that's right, Dr. Hugger. I remember. Yes. Well, it is good to see you. I'm sorry that the circumstances are what they are, but I mean, it had to happen sometime, right?
Wynn is having one of those moments where she sees somebody that she knows, but in the wrong place. Like if you see your teacher at the grocery store and you're like, wait, I know you, but you don't belong here.
This feels wrong.
And
happened in New York a lot. Like you'd be on the subway and you'd be like the people you see on your commute, you then see them somewhere else. And you're like, wait, I know that person from my commute, but I actually, and you like go to say, hey, oh wait, I don't actually
I can't
know
actually
you.
do that.
We don't know each other.
Exactly. But then the rainbow wheel stops turning in her brain and it clicks and she goes, Corcoran, I
Yes, in the flesh, as it were.
I'm so happy you remember me.
Oh, goodness. How could I forget?
It's been a long
Uh,
time.
Has it? I suppose. Well, your daughter must be. What was her name again?
Zaressa.
Zaressa, yes. I'm sure she has mourned you, but I remember such vivacious little child.
She
Everything well?
died a long time ago. I'm actually trying to find her.
Oh. Oh, and I was so oh, curse my big mouth.
Oh, don't worry. I'm always thinking about her.
Uh, hmm. There's terrible news. Well, here, you're looking for word of her here.
I've just been looking for her ever since she left, and this is the closest I feel I have ever been to her. At least I knew she wasn't in Faerun.
Oh.
Maybe she's here. So I suppose there's a bit of hope there that is foolish, but new.
Wait, I'm a little bit out of practice of seeing to the needs of troubled individuals. I was a very respected sage in life here. I am most valuable because of all of the damn languages I know. The whole group of us. Our services are much in demand, but they are fascinating things. I'm getting off topic here. She died quite young, you say?
4.
Oh,
She was sick
so a true innocent.
in every way.
He comes toward you. He takes your hand and says,
Grief means different things here, but it still stings. I don't know if it is a comfort to take away this hope from you, but an innocent soul like that, she is surely passed on to paradise, Win.
You see a fleeting moment on her face of devastation, and then it relaxes away, and she says, "Of course, that's right. Of course. I wouldn't want to think of her here alone. All these years."
It is very, very rare to see children here for that very reason. Now, it's true that parents' grief is strong and might very well be enough to compel resurrection. But if it has been some time, I'm sure that she's moved on. But there are hundreds of wise and powerful clerics here that if you need to know for sure, magics can be cast, divinations can be made, almost any question you have can be answered.
I don't necessarily need to find her, but I do need to know.
I don't understand, yes, but, well, this is a fine place to,
If you have any advice...
Just got your coin. Just got your coin, have you?
Yes. I don't mind
Just
waiting.
now.
Yeah.
he turns and looks at the long line ahead of you and then at the space where he was up at the front.
You know what? Take my coin.
And he passes you a crossway coin.
And
it is not the same shape of any of that you have seen. In fact, most of the ones that you have seen have been round. This one is actually more of a triangular shape. And bears the sort of a dark sheen of perhaps adamantine or maybe a dark platinum of some sort.
That's cool. Super cool.
Passes it to you. He says,
You'll still have to wait a bit, but it won't be nearly as long as what you'd have to endure having just arrived. And I'll just go back to the back of the line. I've got... it's not such a bad place. There's plenty of reading to do. There is an absolutely amazing library here. I could endure several lifetimes.
And she interrupts him with the biggest hug she's ever given.
As you do that, he stops and little tears well up in his eyes. Says,
"Oh, Win, it is good to see you. And, I'm sorry to hear about your daughter, but if this provides some comfort, this knowing, then let us hasten it on with all speed."
Thank you. And
You're welcome.
She gives you her coin, and...
Oh, yes. Oh, my. Well, back to Exora's Belfry from me, and if you are ever in need of having something translated, come to the Temple of Tongues.
And before he goes, she says, "Wait," and she pulls a signet ring off her finger, and it's one of the things that came with her through the Sunless Crossing, and it has a W on it with 4 dots, like around the W. And she says, "I don't have much, but please, it will ease my guilt. I would love if you..."
No. You cannot give me something like this. It is all we have here are memories, and that which we held dear in life has power here. When this cloak of mine, my staff, and 1 or 2 other personal items, they very important to me. You must keep this. You must hold on to it. There are devious and evil creatures here that will try to steal it from you. Will try to steal your memory along with it and barter it like so much chattel. I appreciate the sentiment, I really do, but I cannot possibly accept.
I understand.
Good. You always were a smart one, Win. I look forward to spending more time with you.
You too.
At the tenements, are you?
Yes.
I will look for you there, perhaps.
Where are you? Should I want to find you? You said just now.
I've been here so long, I've really stopped needing to sleep. You find me at Exora's Belfry. It's towards the southern end of the city. There's a tower, and it's some amazing books, lots of knowledge, forbidden knowledge, my favorite. But either there or at the Temple of Tongues, translating.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And he takes his staff and begins to hobble away. And Johan looks at you and says, "Well, now that was quite fortuitous. I could not have wished for a better outcome."
Suppose you took me to the right place. Thank you,
Suppose I
too.
did. Oh, well. I live to serve. So,
Let's
anything
go
else?
get that sword.
Let's go get that sword, indeed. And he takes you to... Cragvale is actually the name of the fortress as you first arrived, but Whetstone Bluff, it would seem to be, is the place to get the item that you were looking for. He takes you to a place called the Whitefire Forge. As you reach it, you can hear there's an entire army of smiths working, a cacophony of hammers banging on the anvils. But you can see there are many of these forges that seem to have the very weapons that you received in the junction, these Nixian blades. And
with a little bit of haggling and some of the coins that you have already acquired.
And I'd also
they-
be willing to trade them the longsword I have.
Longsword, yes, indeed. It would seem that longswords are the most popular, and there's not much call for people who are looking for great swords. Not everyone can wield them, but you can. So with that, you are able to acquire a great sword. So you now have a Nixian blade great sword, and we will add that to your
Nice.
inventory post haste.
Nice.
So, let us continue on then. Jesse,
Okay.
what does Dawn do?
Dawn would probably, like I said, she would probably be very clingy to her sister initially, like when we first got there, and then she would start to think a little bit, and then she would, when we're all like trying to decide where to go, she would be like, make some excuses, probably say some things about Azuth, and then just kind of like exit herself from the group a little bit, and she'd think about going and trying to find a temple to Azuth, probably go and get one of the coins there, because she has to wait in line. But what
while you're there, you do also see there. It's fascinating. Azuth's temple is there, but it is very small compared to this temple to Contrite or Contrite. It's Contrite with no e, spelled with a k. So Contrite would seem to be a goddess or a god or a deity of regret itself. The main one by far, as far as the size of temple is to indicate the level of power or regard a deity has here. Then this one is definitely at the top of the list.
Okay. But she understands that there's a lot of waiting and stuff here, so she'd probably go there to get the coin, but what she really wants to do is find some place to go, because she's been thinking a lot about the conversation she had at the pool. And also, just after losing her sister, she's realized that she needs to maybe she needs to look inward a little bit, because she's starting to realize how much she puts out.
Very good. You are directed to a place known as the Still Garden. It's nestled in amongst the banks of the Western Canal that leads out from the Road to Eternity. There's a patch of green grass there, vegetation, very lush, very arboreal, and there's not that much like that here in Doxville. Not that many gardens, but this is one of the greener spaces, and it's sort of a little oasis in the cityscape. All the black and white stone that makes up the rest of the architecture here. And as you approach it, you could see that there are dozens and dozens and dozens of souls in quiet contemplation. Some just standing and staring, staring with a faraway look on their face, up at the maelstrom up above. Some that are in a lotus position. Some that are having quiet conversations. And as you make your way there, one of these individuals appear to be most of them are wearing robes, so it appears to be like there's a group of monks that perhaps tend to this area as well. One of them wearing a very simple gray robe turns, looks at you. You see a blue-skinned furball with a sort of a dreamy look on her face. Looks towards you as you come and says, "Hello. Welcome to the Still Garden. My name is Thissa, and I am a monk, the Order of the Quiet Mind. This is a place of peace and tranquility. If that is what you seek, then be welcome."
Thank you. I think that is... I'm looking for a place to kind of take a moment for myself and look inward.
Indeed, there are many moments here to be taken. Feel free to take as many as you like.
Oh, okay.
Clothing is optional.
Good,
Shit.
good to know. Do I notice people wandering around naked?
Most people are wearing clothes.
Okay. I look around like, okay.
He said most. So
Um,
clear.
Dawn is actually dressed quite similar, not in a robe, but she's in very like simple gray clothing and stuff like that as well. So she's like noticing that, but she's just is there like a place to like? Do I just find a spot and like hunker down?
Mm-hmm. Find a spot. Hunker down.
Okay.
The
Do I
folk
think
here-
she's
gonna
on
get-
something?
I love it so much. Oh,
the folk
so
here-
many furbolgs.
The people here have no interest in material pursuits and opt to spend their time in Noxvalar in meditative mental states somewhere between consciousness and unconsciousness, just being, coming to terms with who they are, who they were, and who they hope to be.
Okay. Do you seriously though? Do I think she's on something?
Make a medicine check.
We have been almost murdered and actually murdered a couple of times now, and I'm so unsettled in this moment.
18.
Absolutely.
love her.
She's on something.
Niall's like, yes. Four.
Okay. I don't know if you can help me. I am not great at quiet contemplation on me. I tend to focus on other people. So I don't know if you have a suggestion on how I might go about
Perhaps you would
being-
like to have a session with one of the other monks.
Sure.
Help you with a guided meditation.
That
To
feels
help you make contact with your inner emotions.
that feels like probably a good idea.
That doesn't.
Raises a hand and
I don't want to
Um,
take whatever this is
slowly-
taking. No, I'm joking.
slowly
I'll have what she's
trotting
having.
over to you, you see a large and regal centaur that begins
Ooh.
just coming towards you. Long, flowing black hair, dark tan skin, piercing green eyes. 6'5". Trust fund. No,
Can cook.
By night.
yes. You know, the strong, muscled form of the horse, but also then clearly not wearing clothing. Perhaps this is what Thissa meant when she said clothing optional.
Okay.
As it comes slowly moving towards you, comes forward and bows.
Hi. I'm Dawn. This has suggested a guided meditation.
I will say your name, Dawn. But here in the Still Garden, we don't refer to ourselves with names. We prefer adjectives. You may call me calm.
Nice to meet you, Calmer. But Thissa used a name.
She turns to look at this. This looks at him and says,
It's not actually my name.
Okay.
he turns back to you and says, all right.
God.
Okay. Okay.
Come with me.
Okay.
It brings you into the Still Garden, and it
Oh,
is
God.
very peaceful. And you come to a quiet area, and he says, would you prefer to sit?
Sure. And I will. Yeah.
You sit down, and he lumbers down, pulling his legs up under him. Looks like a fawn almost, with the legs bent. He looks a little awkward for him, but he sits down and looks at you and says, what troubles you?
It has been pointed out to me by me that
I
I
understand.
that I maybe don't actually live for myself, and that I avoid emotions and experiencing things myself to avoid hurt. And then I lost my sister for 24 hours because she turned to dust. And while she was gone, I felt so lost that I realized me was probably right, and that I don't know that I know who I am or what I need or what I want, because I'm so focused on the people around me. My
I
sister
can
mostly.
help you. Close your eyes and imagine your favorite place, but just yourself. Your sister is there, but out of sight. Over a hill, in another room, sailed beyond the horizon. And he begins to give you a guided meditation. We're not going to do that here, but I would like you to roll an insight check, please, to see if you make any progress here on this, your first session with Calmer.
21.
21, you do make progress. And he says, and that is why, even though we have great affection for those in our lives, we cannot help them unless we first help ourselves. Imagine a boat or some other conveyance in which there was a problem. You want to help the people around you, but what good to them will you be if you are not first safe and whole?
Okay.
Okay.
I think okay. I understand that, and I think it's gonna take a little digestion.
It will take time. Not many people realize that meditation is something that must be practiced. You can build muscle by lifting heavy things. You can build your ability to meditate by getting into that state more often. I will help you. We have nothing but time.
Yeah. Well, you'll definitely see me again then, for sure.
I look forward to it.
Do I need to
Do you
come up
have
with an
an
adjective?
adjective?
Okay.
I was about to ask, yes.
Anxiouser.
Anxious.
Pleaser.
Not right away, but eventually.
Okay.
At least for it, but Dawn is a beautiful name.
Thank you. I picked it myself.
And as your session ends, you think you're going to be seeing a lot of the still garden
Mhm.
over the next few, however long you're here. Which will bring us to Samus and Nio. What do you do while you are here in Nox Valar these first few days?
I imagine I'd probably try to find
Oh, she's
Vinny.
easily found.
And yeah.
She's above your bed when you,
You said
wake
you
up.
wanted to. Consent. I believe you mentioned you wanted to adjudicate my skill set.
Yes. A cook, are you?
Yes, indeed. And you've got my twirling my knife very casually
my
around
goodness,
my
oh.
finger.
This afternoon we are going to be preparing corn chowder, so get to shucking.
She points to a huge group of people, happily, just with ears and ears of corn, a huge pile of them, taking them and taking off all of the wrappings of the silk and taking these ears of corn and passing them down a line, a conveyor belt almost of us, providing all these this corn.
Shucks, baloney, you're all ears.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Binny. Yes.
Something wrong?
I don't Yes, where are the rest of your stores?
Oh, well, we have corn here for the corn chowder, and there's another
Yes.
cookhouse over there. They are working on beef stew, and we have some chickens that need plucking, and of course there's plenty of wheat to make flour. But there's all the various storerooms. If there's nothing else, I'm quite busy, but here, have a cookie.
No, thank you. What kind of what kind of
It
cookie?
looks
Just
to
out of
be
curiosity.
oatmeal raisin.
Score.
Thank you. No, I believe there's been a little bit of a misunderstanding. See, I don't shuck. I don't cook for peasants. Excuse me. I don't cook for sustenance. I cook to communicate. And based on what I'm seeing here, you are depriving me of 90% of the alphabet.
Oh, well, you can talk to Thimble. He is a most accomplished wizard. I see. So you're not actually interested in helping out here at the tenements.
I believe my skills would not do you the service you require, Vinny.
Yes, go talk to Thimble. He's as busy as I am, mind you, but
No, of
perhaps he
course.
could provide you with some more exotic ingredients. You can think of.
And
some
where can I find
ingredients
Mr.
that I can
Thimble?
No,
I'm
nothing.
sorry.
Oh,
Oh, yes, of course.
We're gonna get kicked out.
Where is this Thimble,
He's
my dear?
just over in the other building over there. You can't miss him, the dwarf.
Charmed.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. And I will take my leave, but how does the cookie look? Just out of curiosity.
It has a nice heft to it. Seems to be not crumbly, but not overly chewy. Just looking at it, you give it a smell. It's make a actually go ahead and make a check with your magic knife that allows you to use your intelligence modifier as you make a perception check. I'd say.
All right.
Wait, you already use a. Sorry,
that would be.
You're smelling. I guess that would actually be. So Constitution is what you usually use for smelling and tasting things, but your knife gives you the ability to substitute your intelligence modifier, right?
Yes. Mhm.
So it would be just make an intelligence check then, because it's not really. I guess perception, yeah. Just make it a perception check.
Oh, all right. We'll do that then. I'm getting a bit of delay. I'm so sorry. Okay, the first perception that came up was a 19.
So the things you'd expect to have in an oatmeal raisin cookie, but there appears to be some other ingredient, and as you smell it and taste it, it is orange zest.
Oh, Benny, this is lovely.
Yes, not bad for a shucker.
She
No, not at all.
turns away from you. Not happy, but not necessarily upset either.
That's fair. I wouldn't be as the player not upset at that reaction. I will go off to find
All right, so
the
you
dwarf.
move into this other cookhouse, and you can easily see this. There's a dwarf with a singed beard wearing a robe that is stained with flour and gravy. He has a ladle in his hand, and he's waving it up and down and making complex symbols and passes with it. As he does, things are appearing, large bags of flour that a helper is coming and grabs and takes it. You see a butter churn appear of newly churned butter, and then a wheel of cheese as he's constantly, people are coming up to him and speaking to him, and he's like, of course, right? And he is constantly just creating food, just piece after piece, with a wave of his ladle.
That is an exceptional skill
Just
you have,
magic.
my good
What do you want?
man.
What ingredients? More specifics. Next.
Can you possibly conjure any Shadowfell black truffle, please? Feywild moonberries? Do you have access to any celestial nectar?
Listen, I have to have tasted the item in order to be able to summon some. It's a refined taste you have there, son.
This is the stuff that I work with. What do you have?
Barley, dried and seasoned meats. The most exotic thing that I've ever had is I once had some rather delicious fish that was some place I'd never heard of before. But you're, what is the word? An Epicurean, I take it.
Indeed, yes. Where would I go to procure some of those ingredients, my good man?
So you are looking for, make sure I get the name right, the House of the Dawn. Yes,
House of the Dawn.
It's, the people who like the sort of things you're talking about, they tend to gather there. They like a more exotic flavors. So off with you.
Thank you. And I will take my leave, and I will see if I can find some directions on the street of where to get to the House of the Dawn.
House of the Dawn. Indeed.
It's not the gambling house that we were told about.
It is indeed the gambling house that Johan talked to you about. It is at the very southern portion of the city of Nox Valar, almost directly opposite the Onyx Requiem. It is, as you approach it, it is a very grand building. Obviously a casino as you approach it. I don't know if you've ever been to a big casino yourself, Samus, but the sounds of laughter, and I'm not gonna go so far as to say there are bells ringing and sirens, but there is definitely cheering and laughter coming from within, and you swear you can hear the sound of coins just constantly jingle jangling as people walking in and walking out. As you come to it, there's a set of stone stairs that lead up to marble pillars that hold up a incredibly large white, sort of off-white triangle roof. Is hanging down over. It's a bit like a gazebo, except with then it's far too large to be a gazebo, but within there are sectioned off areas. You see windows alternating at the very top of it. There's a dark teal dome that is trimmed with gold as you come in. And it's a very spacious area, wide open, and the sounds of everything echoing as you walk in. You could see many tables scattered out all over the place, and games of chance being played, and also an enormous buffet that seems to stretch around the entire area of the central portion of this establishment, and people are lining up to get their fill. And as you look at it, you can definitely see these are dishes that definitely would require more exotic ingredients to prepare.
Can I see the kitchen from which these dishes are coming from?
Make a perception check, please.
So I did 2 in a row. I don't suppose I can use that second roll.
What was the
I managed to land a
sure,
crit on there.
I'll allow it.
He's in his element. He's in his
28.
element.
Yeah.
28. All right. One moment, please. This would be where you guys get to vamp.
It makes sense
Vamp
that you
for
would
me,
get a
fellas.
crit. When
Looking
you
for a kitchen.
smell, you're like, oh, moonberries. Oh,
Can we
elderflower
also-
liqueur.
Can we also talk about the arcane focus of a ladle? That's just amazing. Like, that guy was like, what do you want? Oh,
Cook Mage is my next character.
I love that so much.
oh my god,
Yeah.
seriously. Like,
Right? This is
As you
so
look
much
around,
fun.
you don't immediately see a staircase or anything that leads to a kitchen. However, you do see an absolutely stunning and impeccably dressed gargoyle. You've seen gargoyles. There are quite a few of them here in Nox Valar. And of course, you've seen the ones that you were involved in the fight that you just had at the junction. but not necessarily something you'd call agile or even charismatic. However, this one definitely is. He's absolutely resplendent. He is wearing beautiful robes of gold, but that still managed to show off his physique. Seems to be just dancing around this area, and he's got a little bit of an entourage with him as well. And he's saying, "Yes, everyone is having a good time. Yes, I see people having fun, people laughing, people enjoying everything that there is to have that is good here in Noxvillar." And his eye looks over to you and says, "Friend, you should play."
I'm not much of a gambler, my friend. Oh my, that is quite a suit. Excuse me. Who's in charge of this
Well,
spread?
You may address me as the one in charge. My name is Korbao the Glorious. And if you are lucky
Korbao.
enough,
Yes, indeed.
if you
Oh, my.
rise in your fortunes here and impress me, then perhaps I will take notice of you again. And as he says that, he turns as if to leave.
I'm sorry. Who makes this food?
Wow. You are interested in the food, not the games of chance.
So to speak. Yes.
As he turns, looks at his fabric sort of glitters, all the light shining on him, almost a sort of Technicolor Dreamcoat kind of look to it. He shows it off beautifully as he does, and he steps towards you and says, "Secrets. Why should I share them with you?"
Well, if you are looking for a game of chance, perhaps I can pose one for your entertainment.
He wishes to play a game with me. And there is a tittering of laughter that rises from the entourage around this individual. "What is your name, my very naive friend?"
My name is Niall Phelan Caldwell. Pleasure to make
Korbao
your
the
acquaintance.
Glorious
And now
is
that I'm
not impressed, although he likes your tie.
Thank you. I'm not seeking to impress, merely to prove. If you are able to provide me with the ingredients I require, I will wage my dish against anything on this buffet here. If my dish proves to be superior, we have a discussion about how I can procure additional ingredients in the future. If I fail, you'll never see me again.
Such mortal desires such as food and drink, not something that Korbao the Glorious is that interested in, but it is perhaps something that everyone else would like to see. And there is people seem a little unsure of whether or not he's trying to get them on his side or whether or not he's moving along with you. But he whispers to somebody and they go running off. He comes back and nods and he says, "Very well. Choose 4 ingredients, and I will choose the taster." And he looks around the room, and there is an enormous and unfortunately loathsome-looking individual, incredibly fat. Wings on their back would suggest they might be some sort of a fiend, but it's very hard to tell. Their neck has 4 or 5 rolls, and their head is sunken down a little bit into their form. And he points to that and says, "That looks like someone who enjoys eating. Come, you. We need your tongue." And this individual comes to waddle over and says, "Yes, Korbao, you want me to taste something?" And he turns and looks at you. 3 ingredients.
4.
Make a persuasion check.
What I am the least good at, but all right, let's see how we do here. Can I do it with my knife?
No, not this one.
All right, I got a
Miguel
9.
shakes his head. 3.
Any 3 then.
So
Shrugs his
crazy.
shoulders.
Val has low charisma. and
Any
shock.
3. You must see what it is you are
Fair
trying
enough.
to win. We have access to everything.
3 ingredients along with the, staples of
Of
spice
course.
and such, I trust. All right. In that case, please procure for me some blue lobster tail from Waterdeep, some golden nectar glaze from Elysium, and some ruby carrots from the elemental plane
He
of Earth.
raises an eyebrow at these requests. Perhaps I judged too quickly. Turns to the same person he spoke to before, who goes running off and says, Niall Phelan Caldwell is your name?
Indeed.
Is this the sort of thing that you do often?
I haven't in a while. I'm eager to do it
Out
again.
of practice, then.
Quite. But I don't doubt my skills.
Why are you not interested in winning purgatory poker? Surely crossway coins are valuable to you?
You said you didn't find food particularly interesting. That's fair. I'm not here for food. I'm here to create.
There's a lot of knowing nods. Creation is a powerful balm for boredom, but I will be surprised if you don't eventually find your way to the games of chance. Their call is like that of a siren. It will get you here eventually.
My good man, that's what we're doing right now.
I suppose. And after a moment, the very ingredients that you asked for do arrive. Looks at them. Quite expensive tastes. I hope that our meager fare can accommodate.
So do I. And I begin twirling my knife, and I assume that there are stoves and cutting boards and other such things.
That's a good point. Here on the floor, there would not necessarily be such things.
So
Shrugs his
crazy.
shoulders.
Val has low charisma. and
Any
shock.
3. You must see what it is you are
Fair
trying
enough.
to win. We have access to everything.
3 ingredients along with the, staples of
Of
spice
course.
and such, I trust. All right. In that case, please procure for me some blue lobster.
Coins are valuable to you?
You said you didn't find food particularly interesting. That's fair. I'm not here for food. I'm here to create.
There's a lot of knowing nods. Creation is a powerful balm for boredom, but I will be surprised if you don't eventually find your way to the games of chance. Their call is like that of a siren. It will get you here eventually.
My good man, that's what we're doing right now.
I suppose. And after a moment, the very ingredients that you asked for do arrive. Looks at them. Quite expensive tastes. I hope that our meager fare can accommodate.
So do I. And I begin twirling my knife, and I assume that there are stoves and cutting boards and other such things.
That's a good point. Here on the floor, there would not necessarily be such things. However, Corbau is able to bring them a small portable cook stove. It's a little cauldron that he places on one of the tables, one of the buffets here, and you watch as it begins to heat all of its own. And through that, you will be able to cook.
All right. I just for flair, because it is so joyous to have access to my hands again, I'm making a display of it. I'm twirling my knife, I'm tossing it in the air, I'm catching it, and I am making a very showman-like presentation of the of my cooking process. I'm cutting the carrots razor thin. I am ladling the glaze, from a large distance, and just making it as presentational as possible. For the presentation, I pick a very simple porcelain plate with a silver rim, and I place the poached lobster in a spiraled shape around the dish, and I ladle a very healthy ladle of the golden nectar glaze around it, and it just kind of sparkles in the light under the casino lights. And then for a dramatic contrast, I have this like hellfire pepper carrot around the outer rim of the pepper, and with the last carrot piece, I draw the shape of a simple heart in the glaze and lay the pepper in the center of it, and I present it to Corbow.
My goodness. Let's see. I guess we would roll a...
Perform.
I have a specific skill that I created with the knife to roll with
All right,
my
tell me of this
with my
specific
intelligence.
skill.
It is it is rolling. The magical knife allows me to roll a skill with my intelligence bonus, and it is
Roll a
something that I
cooking
have
skill.
expertise in. A cooking skill, yes. It's a specifically it's a cooking skill that is attributed
Intelligence
to my
as opposed to constitution.
intelligence
Right.
score.
We did talk about that. All right,
Yes.
yes. All right, well then go for it. Make that roll.
Will that be at
Why
advantage
would it
by
be an
chance?
advantage? You could not be in less friendly company.
Yes, but I did do quite a
But
display, like
Hmm.
somebody who did a lovely rap
Well, that was
earlier
'cause I
this
was
evening.
there,
That
to
is
be
true.
fair. I showed up on purpose to give him advantage to this.
It's true. It was quite
No pressure,
You're,
if
you're
not.
quite right. The detail and the role play that you put in there quite worthy of advantage. Yes, indeed. You're welcome.
Thank you. Well, that is a 23.
Very impressive.
Mhm.
The corpulent fiend, it is here, looks at it and takes it, and with one single bite, just engulfs the entire dish. And you barely even see him chew as it disappears down his gullet into his stomach. Very nice.
You see me like just like that hurts my
Oh.
soul watching somebody tear into a very meticulously plated and
God.
created dish, but I do my best to maintain composure and wait patiently.
The individual, after eating that, and Corbow looks and says, I have it on very good authority that this individual has sampled absolutely everything we've ever prepared here. So, how does it compare? I would like some more. Corbow goes, more? Couldn't resist. He looks and gives a slow nod and says, that is high praise. Very well, Mr. Nio Phelan Caldwell. I will allow you to have access to the gourmandable. Perhaps for the shepherd's feast that is coming up, you could prepare something special for us.
I would be
Good.
delighted.
And he turns and huffs away, not angrily. It just seems like as he moves, there's an energy that moves with him, and the focus of the entire casino seems to follow him where he goes. A very effective distraction. But you obviously will be spending the next several days trying to gain access to this individual known as the Gourmandable. There are go-betweens. You are able to access any ingredient that you can think of, and the more exotic the ingredient you choose, try your best. You're not able to stump whoever this individual is, but you do not lay any sight on them. They're always go-betweens. But you are able to begin preparing your meal, and it does indeed seem that there is a festival coming up, a festival, the Feast of the Shepherd. As you gather, it is a festival that honors the shepherds of the Ashen Field, allows those that have worked the longest to have you get the feeling it has a very Thanksgiving-like quality to it in terms of gathering and eating, but it is in honor of the Ashen Shepherds themselves. So this is what you are.
Well, while I'm there, I would like to pocket a handful of ingredients to bring back to Thimbolt. I would like to bake my own special cookie to give to Binny, and I would like to make a very small plate of pancakes for me to leave by Wynn's bedside in secret, because I know that she is grieving. And I remember, as my time as a wolf, that she had said in a moment of sadness that pancakes were Zaressa's favorite.
Well, as the days go by, as they turn into a week and then a fortnight, you'll find yourselves all congregating one morning outside of the tenements, in the square here that is the nexus of all these various neighborhoods. Utopia, the Velo, the tenements, and have a moment to share with each other what all you've been doing, and I assume you do, unless you keep anything secret. Does anybody have anything they wish to do or say now that you have this moment where you are all definitely together?
Dawn would probably tell the group that she's been going to the garden to just like have some quiet time, but she definitely wouldn't be telling the group like why she feels she needs the quiet time, because she's probably not super into telling her sister that she's trying to figure out how to not focus on her. So you wouldn't know that I'm going there to deal with what the pool told me, because I'm still putting on a very chill face about the conversation with the pool that I had.
Well, I'm glad you've been having a good time.
I can't believe you keep drinking tea.
What's wrong
It's
with tea?
dirty water.
How dare!
Drink something stronger, like coffee.
I'm not drinking to get caffeine drunk.
You're doing it wrong.
I don't want to be all jittery.
So, as Dawn and Dusk are having this conversation, I forget, do any of the rest of you know Corcoran?
I know Corcoran from a different
Not
campaign.
in this campaign.
Yeah, different
Yeah.
campaign.
All right, so we'll say that in this world, that Wynn is the only one who has met Corcoran. But he does.
I definitely would have told them.
All right. So he does. You do see him walking up toward you. He raises a hand and waves it at you as he begins to make his way toward you. The smile. He says, "Well. It is good to see you again, Wynn. And who are these companions?"
Indeed, companions. For a long time now, we've been adventuring together. Preserving life. Making puns. I only do one of those things.
Hi, I'm Dawn.
Corcoran Pebbleboss at your service.
He reaches out a hand and shakes it. Shakes yours.
I elbow Dusk.
You see,
Nice to meet you.
Dusk.
You see Niall in the corner, and he's kind of in his own world, but just gives like a half-hearted wave and is playing with his knife. At his
In the
side.
tavern, Niall and I are the ones that are sitting in the shadowy corner on opposite sides of the tavern.
Each of you
Very
trying to
sad.
find the shadow, the most shadow
Yeah.
I can pick.
Don-
Trying to find it.
Donna's gonna say, "That's Niall. You know, I thought I wouldn't have to introduce you anymore now that you can speak for yourself."
Sorry to disappoint.
and
We
I,
also have
assume-
a rather annoying small friend. I think he's auditioning somewhere right now.
Well, I hope I have a chance to meet him. Well, I wanted to tell you all that there is a festival coming up in a few weeks that I very much like to invite you to join me at dinner, per se. But I have not encountered anyone else here in Knoxville that I have previously known, and is a first for me running into Wit, and I would very much like to celebrate it. So,
as he is speaking, there is a sort of a gasp from a few people nearby just walking past, and as you turn to see what they're looking at, they're gazing upwards, and just as you are about to look, there is an impact of two intertwined bodies that land right in front of you, right on Corcoran Pebblemoss.
Ah!
Just in a moment, he was there and then gone.
And no,
And
we can't try and perception our way out of
You
this.
had absolutely no idea that this was happening. There is no chance. In mid-sentence, he is crushed. Everyone freezes, and there's a sense of absolute shock that is frozen everybody in this courtyard as they look at what has just happened. This two individuals that have landed right here. One of them is a very pale woman with red lips and dark blood red coat. Caked hair, like her hair is not just red, it's as if it's caked with blood. And she has a sword actually in her body. And she looks down at it and slowly pulls it out. And as she does, the sword scrapes against the ragged edges of the breastplate where it's rent into it. There's sort of a scraping sound like nails on the chalkboard. And she pulls it out. The other person who has landed here is a blonde-haired soldier. He's dressed in a very ornate, studded leather armor, and he has a spiked chain around his neck that is attached to one of the gauntlets of the other his opponent, who has just landed here as well. And he unravels it, and as he does, his speech is ragged as he's having trouble. It's like he's just been choking. He says, "Kelsier, give it up already. I've won. You are actually dead this time." And as she finishes pulling out the sword, this individual who has just been referred to as Kelsier, she says, "Oh, who's a good little puppy? You finally touched my heart, but as far as I can tell, the only dead person is whatever this was. Now, where were we, Janos?" And with a snap of her metal-clad gauntlets, the barb chains zip back from the ground, just come back like a razor wire, retracting into her gauntlets. And she smiles and says, "A little lover's quarrel is good for the soul, no?" And the blonde-haired individual sighs, and he looks around, as clearly disoriented at this cityscape around him, and his eyes fix on you. He says, "Where exactly are we?" And as he's saying that, gargoyles wearing the armor of the Nixian Guard begin to appear on the buildings around you, and one of them shouts, pointing at these two, and says, "Arrest them!" And that will be where we take our break.
I want to
Jeez.
Poor
kill
Corcoran!
her.
He's gonna come back, right? Like he just poofed into ash and he'll be back in 24
Well,
hours. He better be.
I can't believe you
I'm
squashed
gonna
him. I can't believe you
kill her.
squashed
No fucking
him.
with
All
my
right,
main
guys.
man, Corcoran.
Smushed him.
Wash them.
See you back here in 5.
Oh.
Jesus.
And welcome back. If you are just joining us, welcome. And if you've been here, welcome back. As I said, this is Severed Threads Notes from the Black Ballad. And the adventurers have just been exploring the city of Nox Valar, getting a taste of what life here is like over the course of the few days as they are beginning to acclimate to where they could potentially spend a great deal of time being dead. But before we continue, I would like to tell everyone about some giveaways we have going on. If you go to Storytellers Forge, Storytellers Forge being the writers and publishers of the module that we're currently playing, The Black Ballad, if you go to their Discord, a link in the chat, and mention this stream, Severed Threads, you will be entered into a giveaway to win some cool stuff from Storytellers Forge. And if you like dice, you'd like to win some dice, then you can go to my Discord page, Medium Rare. It is, again, in the chat. Mention this stream, Severed Threads, and you will be entered into a giveaway to win some dice. Who doesn't like that? So, now that that is taken care of, I think we should jump right back into the game. A beloved friend of Wynn's, having just been introduced to the party and inviting them to a festival coming up, has been annihilated by two armed combatants falling from the sky. A shock to the party and all of the people here in this little square in the middle of all of the residential areas of Nox Valar. Corcoran Pebblemoss has been crushed. The two individuals, a short, pale woman with blood-caked hair and armor and chains that extend from her gauntlets, magically extend from her gauntlets, and a individual wearing ornate leather armor with blonde hair. They both appear to be soldiers or warriors at the very least. They fought, they had a brief exchange of words, and as the party looked on in shock, the Nixian Guard, the protectors of Nox Valar, have arrived and have pointed to these individuals, and one of them shouts, "Arrest them." And before you all can do anything, the female looks around, looks up, looks at the people around and sees you all, and she looks at Dawn and grins at you with a maniacal look in her eye and begins to move towards you, picking up speed. Before you even can draw a weapon, she is upon you. However, she does not attack. She steps into your shadow and disappears. But you hear shouts and cries of alarm coming from Caliber Estates, one of the neighborhoods here, and you look and you get an impression that she has just appeared over in that direction. Now that that has happened, we will roll initiative in this chase.
I am so
jeez.
ready to
Okay.
destroy this
Oh, like,
foreign
Seriously.
no offense to storytellers, but I will burn all of Nox Valar down just to avenge Corcoran Pebblemoss.
100%.
If you're ever lucky enough to play in a game with Sean, he does fantastic, and this character has like major pop vibes. So,
That was really
I-
nice of you to
I
say.
love Corcoran Pebblemoss.
Well,
For some reason, I can't choose my character. Oh, there it is. Okay, let's try that again. Sorry.
oh, right. Yeah.
I'm pretty. Yeah.
Yes, you are.
I'm pretty.
Yeah, you are.
that's the sort of thing people say about
Indeed.
themselves.
If you
Let's
don't
see,
think it, other confidence is key.
Jack is up there. Wynn is up there. Dawn, Niall, we're still waiting for Dusk.
Oh,
Oh, she's up there.
weird. Didn't put me on there.
She's on the.
She's just not
Did
in the
she-
turn
didn't
order.
show up on the
so-
tracker.
Yeah.
What did
Well-
you roll, Dusk?
5.
A 5. Alrighty. We will be rolling lots of initiative, so be sure to click on your tokens. You know, all that jazz.
No, that
But-
Jack.
Indeed.
my
Into the
Okay.
backpack.
All right. In the backpack. Yeah.
If that's
That is
why
my
you-
skill
Not
check.
Jack.
You've been
Ryan.
auditioning,
Into the backpack.
then that's
Yeah,
why
yeah.
you're not getting it.
All right. So the way this will work is there will be several rounds of this chase. Each round provides its own sort of obstacle or challenge. We will go through in initiative order, and each one of you can tell me what skill it is you want to use to try to overcome this challenge. If it is the skill that makes the most sense, in my opinion, for what's going on, then it is going to be a normal roll. But if you try to use something really bizarre to get through this,
Ryan.
go ahead and explain to me how you want whatever this to work is, and if you can sell me on how this would, like, if you want to use religion in some way to help you achieve some sort of benefit in this chase, and you can explain to me how that would work, then I will adjust the DC accordingly. But the idea is to get 8 successes before you receive 3 failures. And this will be a group check. So everybody rolls, and we will average the groups together, however many successes, however many fails.
Okay.
So
I'm so
we need 8 successes.
I want to win so
before
bad.
We have 3 failures.
I know, I'm already stressed.
So the chase is on. It's first round. As you look around, the area is full of people. There's quite a few. This is a very busy area, and you see all these people. They've created a bit of a barrier. Just so many people around here, and as this woman disappears in one direction, the people in between her and you provide a barrier, a blockage. So. What do you do to get away? The blonde-haired individual is still there, is observing this, but has not fled immediately, is still here looking around confusedly. There is perhaps a chance to speak with this individual, but he seems inclined to run as well. But at the top of the order, we have Jack. Jack, what do you do to make your way, to avoid this obstacle of this crowd of people that is in your way?
So I immediately play a hick note on my lute. It says, and I say, good people of the realm, seize that man, and everybody move! As I go ahead and try to persuade the crowd to aid me in this endeavor.
Of course, yes, absolutely. Roll a persuasion check, please.
Oh, don't mind if I do. All right, so that's going to be a 23.
A 23 is a success, as your commanding tone and this musical lick that you have played does stir people in action. They seem disinclined to seize the individual. He looks rather mighty, and none of the people here appear to be armed, not nearly as well as you all are. But they do seem inclined to move away. You see them thinning out. It's taking time, but it will be of benefit to you. That is a success. Next up, we have Dawn.
Okay.
Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, that's correct. Yes, Dawn.
Okay, so the goal is to try to get this guy before he goes and chase after her.
Yes, so you have to decide if it will still be the group's success or failure. However, you can choose whether or not some of you go after the woman and some of you stay with the man. If he ends up running, you can chase him. You can split up as you go, or you can go after one. It is your choice.
And then DM, are we restricted to just like one skill check for this thing, or are we able to use our spells, attacks?
If you have a spell or a special, I would say not so much a spell, but a special ability or some sort of, if you have the perfect tool for a particular job or something, then that will come into play.
Well,
things are happening so frenetically here. We're not really getting into combat. This is a skill.
Good. Okay, that's what.
Okay,
that's,
so
that
like
was the
avoid
theory.
using spells, essentially.
So what you're saying is,
tell you what, when we get to your turn, we're at your turn, Dawn. What is it you want to do? We'll see if we can work it out.
I was going to use one of my regret domains, or attempt to use one of my regret domain spells to touch this guy, and he needs to repent for what he did to Corcoran Pebblemoss, and I want to try to force him to repent.
Nice.
Interesting. So
It's an attack roll.
But that doesn't.
Is the thing.
It is an attack.
So that's why
roll.
I was asking the
Alright.
question. Because I have another thing I could do if
That's
you say no on that.
I will allow it. Go ahead and roll an attack.
Okay,
roll.
I'm gonna use the heroic inspiration I got several sessions ago. For the one I got for being
the one
truthful.
for being
Yeah.
honest. Yes, of course.
Well saved.
And I rolled a 20. Dirty 20.
Nice.
A 20.
Dirty 20.
So I believe that is a
I'm gonna say-
hit.
He didn't deserve what you did to him, and I'm going to touch this guy, and he's going to be compelled to fall prone. To
Mm.
repent.
Oh.
And- yeah.
So before I commit to this, let me find the stat block of this
It's
individual
like-
because
it's like,
I was
wait a
not
minute, wait a minute.
anticipating combat, so
Sorry.
I need to make
That's
sure
what I said. I had another
That's
thing
all
I
right.
could do, but this just seemed like a good way to keep him here.
All right.
Yeah.
I was correct.
That's-
That is indeed a hit.
Let me get
So,
this straight. You have Win, Dusk, myself, and Dawn in the party, and you did not anticipate combat. All right.
I'm just gonna walk up, touch his chest, and say,
Yeah.
"You didn't deserve what you did to him," and then he will feel compelled to fall prone into like a praying.
Indeed, he holds onto his chest. What did you do? Falls down to his knees and looks down at the now pile of ash that was once Corcoran Pelmas. It says, "It was. I had no. I'm sorry." And he does indeed look
And I'm gonna
remorseful.
use the tagline for the spell
Um,
and say, "Atone or perish."
Oh,
Essentially,
okay.
if he tries to
Very
stand
nice.
up, he
All
takes
right.
damage.
Got it. In that, does this
I love
remind me how long it lasts?
It lasts until
just-
he gets prone. If he
Until he
stands
decides to
up,
stand up.
he takes damage.
Gotcha. All right. Very well. Next up, we have Win.
I'm going to go after that big B, and I'd like to use.
I don't understand.
Yeah.
Big-
No,
She shaped
Uh,
like the letter.
that
B.
I'm gonna use an athletics
B.
check to just fucking go after her, and my goal is
All
to
right.
grapple or just I could parkour off of something to get
You'll
close
have
her.
to catch her to
Yeah,
grapple,
I'm
but
just-
yes, this will be an athletics check to get through, to jump over, to move aside the thinning crowd that is still in your
Okay.
way. All right, so roll that athletics check.
20, dirty 20.
20. That is a success. That's 3 successes, friends. We'll go ahead and do the rest because natural ones do count as double failures, and natural 20s count as double successes. So,
All right.
go ahead. You are able to you're able to move through the group. The people see you coming and already being moved out of the way by Jack's command. You were able to push through them without any trouble at all. That is going to bring us now to Nile.
So I am going to use a spell in the service of a
You
skill
people.
check.
It is a
No,
skill
hear me out.
check.
Yes, this is. But I am going.
It's
I
right
am
there in
going
the
to
name.
cast
Apparently.
Misty Step and pop in front of her to startle her and scare her into
Your
stopping.
Misty Step
So I'm
does
gonna do
not
that.
allow you to get far enough. She used something to move quickly herself, and it is outside.
How
the
far
range
is
of
she?
you. She is. It's difficult for you to tell because there are people still in your way, necessitating the skill check.
Is she more than
Sounds like
60
it.
feet away?
Possibly.
Okay.
We're
Yeah, 'cause we just kind of
I still wanna
heard
do-
noises. Yeah.
All right. Then I'm going to run towards her, and in my most booming voice, I'm just going to yell, he doesn't have a very booming voice. but
What skill are you trying to use?
I'm
I
trying to.
You there!
trying to.
You there! How dare
Trying-
you!
Trying to use intimidation.
So, I mean, how does Nile intimidate a fleeing
Insult her.
maniac?
I'll just, I'll insult
Say
her.
something scathing about her eyebrows.
Stop, woman! It's apparently your family tree didn't have enough branches, and I will,
There it is.
and I will, that'll be me trying
All
to
right, an intimidation
her.
check, please.
Your family isn't a tree, it's a wreath.
It's a 15.
15 is a failure.
Ooh,
And because you
what?
have
No.
failed this particular check, you have a -2 to whatever your next check is.
Whoa.
As the individual sort of, she hears this and you hear, oh, as her echoing laughter just disappears down this street. And
Sorry,
last
friends.
but not
Sorry.
least, and so that is a -2 for your checks next round. Last but not least, we have Dusk.
Okay, I would like to use my insight to kind of figure out how people are reacting in the movements as the crowd is being, pushed through by this woman, to try to kind of figure out how to sneak in amongst the people.
Okay, so you're trying to read people's emotional state with insight. How does that benefit the...
Kind of more like read their faces. Like, are they shocked that something happened? Because that means that they'll back away. Or are they like, hey, what the hell are you doing? And be in the way.
I tell you what, I will allow an insight check here, but I'm gonna say the DC is higher because this is not perhaps the most useful thing to know. I would say that people are definitely shocked. That is something
Okay.
you're aware of without a roll.
Can-
You hear people looking at the pile of ash, and you hear one person yell "murder," like confused as to whether or not this what happened here. How did this happen? And confusion and shock. You definitely see that. So, is there something else you could do with a wisdom skill?
Is survival?
I would allow survival to see get an idea of which way the crowd is sort of moving, to see if
Okay.
you should go one way or the other. That is definite. I will allow.
Okay, then I'll do survival.
All right, so like sort of getting an idea of the herd mentality of this group. What'd you roll?
22!
22 is a success. Well, successes all around except for Niall, but more than enough to succeed. That is a total success. That is one success on the board for the adventurers. And now we're going to roll initiative again.
Oof.
Just to make sure that not the same people are going first all the time. Let me go ahead and remove these and
Well, that
roll
was
again.
good.
Don't forget to click your tokens before you roll.
Yep.
Oh, crap.
All right, I see initiatives coming up on the board.
Yakafer, hurry up.
Jack's. Jack,
Hey,
what'd you roll?
hey.
All right, I see Niall at a 21, Win at an 8, Dusk at a 15, Dawn at a 13, and Jack at a 16. So at the top of this order, we have Niall with a 21. Let me tell you what is going on, Niall.
Oh, sure.
As we enter into the second round of this chase. Janos falls to his knees and then, wincing, does stand up, taking the damage. And he looks after where this individual, Kelsier, apparently has gone, and looks at you warily, Dawn, as he's clearly taken this damage, and shakes his head and says, "Well, that answers a few things. Sorry." And points towards her and says, "She does have a charming side, once you get to know her. Again, sorry!" And begins to take off, running in a different direction. So, they are fleeing separately. But despite that fact, both of them seem to be uncannily in sync. And as you are chasing after, I'm just curious, is anybody at this point deciding they're going to go after this individual, the blonde-headed man, or are you all focusing on Kelsier?
I'm definitely focusing on the girl.
Well, so
I think
okay.
Dawn is probably going to go after
Win-
the man.
All right. Going after the man. The man! All right, so the party splits. 4 of you going after the woman and 1 of you going
Well,
after the man.
no. Let's say I didn't commit to either direction. I just had the crowd control.
It's true.
So I wouldn't let.
I am moving towards the woman. I'm following
Okay.
you in.
Okay,
so...
then I will back up Dawn.
All right, so 2 and
Okay.
3.
That's better.
Got it. So, you don't have a way of communicating this between you, but they are uncannily in sync, as both of them attempting to escape pursuers, you, but also the Nixian guard that has begun to reach the scene and join you in this pursuit. They leave the streets. They actually break into homes in the area where they are, kicking down doors or diving through windows, and begin to move through these homes trying to find a shortcut into another street or another alley. So, as this happens, at the top of the order we have Niall, as you have lost sight of Kelsier again as she's ducked into one of the fine apartments at Caliber Estates.
Oh, so since I have lost sight of her, I would like to use a perception check to see if I can find her to call to Win where she
All right,
went.
perception check, go right ahead.
A 21 with my -2.
All right, that is a
Nice.
success. Thank you for remembering the -2.
Mhm.
That is a success. With your perception check, you instantly get an idea of the shape of this building. It's very lavish. There's a beautiful garden and great decoration, little picket fence outside. There's a balcony and such, but you get a sense that it is not a very long building. It's more wide than deep. So you expect that this individual will probably come out on the other side of it very quickly, and there is a little alleyway to the side that somebody could run down and get around and perhaps keep a sight of her there, maintain the chase despite the fact that she has moved out of sight. So that is... Go ahead.
I'll call to Win and I'll point and I'll say, Win, that alley! And I will run towards it.
Very
as
good.
well.
That's going to bring us to Jack. Jack, this man that you're following, does the exact same thing. He is running and he stops as he sees an open window, and he looks back and then just somersaults back into this window and out of sight.
All right then. Per the rules of this lovely chase sequence, we're not allowed to double up on any skill checks, correct?
That has already been done this
That has
round, so
already
you can't
been
do a
done.
perception.
Oh, just
this
this round.
Oh, just this round.
Yeah, that's why
I
we're
don't think there's enough skill
we're
checks
changing
for us
initiative.
to do different ones
was-
every.
I was
Oh.
just gonna say I didn't know.
No,
when
that's
they were
why I was
resetting.
like,
okay, that makes me feel
Holy
better.
balls! This
It's
is
going
gonna
to
be
be like-
insane.
would have gotten really creative. I'm tempted to go back now
It's
that
like,
I think
yeah.
about it. but-
Animal
I'm going to
handling
cook
check
it.
for
No, seriously, it's like I wish to make a medicine check for the health of the window. Yeah. No. All right. All right then. So having done that, so he jumps through the window, is what I see.
Yes. Mhm.
I would like. Gosh, there it. See him. He dodges into the window.
You try to use persuasion again, or some other?
No. My hope was to tell the crowd that he had stolen something from a child, and so that way they would hopefully be persuaded to
But
stop him.
you have left the crowd behind now.
Yeah,
You're now
but
moving
it
into
seems like
area-
we're on the run, as it were.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see here. Okay. That's better than nothing. All right, so then I am going to sort of I sort of like kick myself into overdrive using my dash ability, and I am going to use my intimidation to hopefully get close enough to. So the idea is that I'm up to him and he's like, if you don't stop, I am going to break every bone in your body until you are dust, and then compact it and shatter it again.
Ooh. Oh,
Nice.
that's great.
Nice.
Go ahead and roll that intimidation check, please, Jack.
From the 2-foot
Yeah.
fairy.
Got this.
Yeah.
Oh no!
A 10. A
She just
10.
can't hear you.
That is unfortunately a failure. As you stop at the window and you see this man running, there is in fact a woman standing in there, and she has something in her hand, like a club. You think it's a piece of wood or a piece of furniture, perhaps. And you shout out, and she looks like she was getting ready to strike this individual as he's running by. But as you shout this and say this, she gets distracted, looks, and just by pure instinct, she goes, "Ah!" and throws it at you instead. And you have to duck out of the way. So that is a failure.
Oh no!
Brings us to Dusk.
Okay, I will now use the survival again
Okay.
to be able to figure out where the lady went and stop her
okay.
hijinks.
All right, go ahead and roll a survival check. 26 is a success. Let's see. So you look at this area, you get a sense of there's a slight rise happening. Caliber Estates has a little bit of a topography to it. The finer estates are a little higher up in the hill, as it were, as opposed to those that are down here closer to the tenements. It's likely that she continues to run. She's going to be running uphill. If you can figure out a way to get, if you're looking around for some steps or something that's going to allow you to move up the hill a little better, and with your survival check 6, you suspect that based on the topography here, that if you move one street over, you'll have an easier time climbing up the hill to perhaps catch up or maybe even get in front of this. What is your survival check? Brings us to Dawn's. That's another success. So 1 success, 1 failure, 1 success.
Okay. Dawn is going to go with what she's strongest, and when she sees that guy kind of stop, she's going to, as she's watching him kind of run through, she's going to read his body language and just take a moment to see what his next intentions are and use insight to kind of track his intentions.
All right, so try and get an idea what he's thinking about.
Yeah, like what his body language and eye movements are kind of suggesting he's about to do next.
Gotcha. All right, so you peek in this window, ducking past the piece of furniture that's been thrown out the window at Jack. What'd you roll?
15. That's
15.
terrible.
Sorry. 15 is a failure. And incidentally, Win, because you failed, and now Dawn, because you failed, your next roll will be at -2. So that is now
Jack.
2 successes and 2 failures.
Oh, okay.
Jack, yeah,
Not
Jack.
Win. I'm sorry, Jack. Yes, we got it.
Using
Like,
my bardic
Failed
abilities,
and I didn't
transfer
even
to
know
win.
it.
Yeah.
That's the worst kind of failing.
Sorry. You don't know.
It's so hard for me to
Oh,
roll
right.
that
Like you
low
did-
on insight, you guys.
But you did it.
Well, it is a stressful situation.
So that's going to bring us to our final roll, the tiebreaker. What you got for me? Win with an 8.
No fresh. Yeah.
Am I right that athletics is still around?
Yeah, athletics has not been used.
yeah.
I'm doing it. So
Just
again,
gonna run.
Yeah.
just
All right.
barreling
Body the
Yeah,
situation.
actually,
Just body it.
bloodhound
You
kind
got
of
this.
thing going on. 13.
Oh,
I have a
13,
plus
that's
7.
a failure. That is going to be 1 success and 1 failure for the group. So that is 1 of your 3 failures. Let me clear the initiative board, and we will roll initiative again.
Oh my
Okay.
god.
Alright.
I'm terrified.
Lucky 13.
Yeah, seriously.
Alrighty.
Oh, dang it.
Initiative.
I see Dusk with a 13, Niall with a 19, Jack with an 8, Win with a 22, Dawn with a 7. At the top of the order, we have Win with a 22. Before you speak, let me tell you what's going on. This festival that Corcoran that you've heard talk about. Corcoran mentioned it, but also Niall might have mentioned it in passing. You have seen some preparations for it. Unlike other places, there's not decorations for it up months before the actual event. But this Feast of the Shepherd, the Shepherd's Feast, as it's referred to, as you burst out the other side of this house, close on the tail of Kelzir, there is a major road that is going between this neighborhood, Calibor, and another neighborhood, and in preparation for the Shepherd's Feast, you see large amounts of barter and trade are happening right here. People trading foodstuffs, trading decorations. Where all this stuff comes from is might be a mystery to you at this point, but regardless, it is here. It is a good chance for Kelsier to blend in, and that is indeed what she appears to be trying to do. As you come out the other side of this, and for a brief moment, you don't know where she is. You don't see a trail of people looking incensed to follow. She seems to be trying to hide in amongst these people. What do you do?
Well, of course, I would normally just kind of keep barreling at her, but it sounds like that's kind of off the table.
Not necessarily. You just
Are you
want to
kidding
run
me?
through and create a hole? Absolutely.
Done. I mean, I'm not gonna hurt people intentionally, like hurt them a lot. If I knock them down, it's not a big deal.
All right.
Athletic.
Make it athletic check. Yeah.
27 crit.
27 is a
Crit.
success. A crit.
Crit.
That
Double
counts as
success.
2 successes as you come forward. You just muscle
She was
in
mad about
to
the last
a
one.
group of people, and you you actually knock over a large barrel of some sort of liquid. From the smell of it, some sort of wine, and it begins to barrel ahead. You see it starting to roll down the street, and people begin to jump out of the way of it. But there is a few people that aren't, and you suspect that at least one of them is Kelsier, maintaining the fleeing as opposed to jumping out of the way. Next up, we have Niall.
Yeah, I think that my best bet is to see if I can just perceive her in
Absolutely.
the crowd.
Roll that perception check.
Oh, 15.
15, I'm afraid, is a failure, and because of that failure, your next check will be at a -2.
Minus
One success, 2 successes and 1 failure, thanks to Wynn's critical success.
Sorry, friends.
Yeah, you look around. You think, got her, but then that doesn't quite. You don't think that's right, and then you see a shock of red, thinking it's her hair, but it's actually just a very red cloak that somebody is wearing, and you're not able to pick her out. Brings us to dusk.
Okay, can I use my insight to kind of try to put myself in her headspace, being like, okay, if I was trying to get away and hide among the crowd, how would I try to do that?
Very good. Yes, make an insight check. I would say, like, try to put yourself in somebody else's shoes would definitely be an insight check as you come out around the corner and you see, oh, that is
Throw 14.
14 is a failure. So that's 2 failures, 2 successes. That's gonna bring us to Jack.
Dusk is not very empathetic.
Alright.
Completely
What's this guy
failed.
doing?
Yeah, you
Oh.
you look around and go, what would I do? And you think, I've never been in this situation.
Exactly.
I have no idea.
Meanwhile, on the other side of town.
What
Yes.
is Jonah doing?
All right, so what's happening?
The same circumstance.
Previously, having a piece of a chair thrown at me.
Yes.
Um,
It looks like this fellow has left this building, this domicile, and you can either go after them this way or try to jump around the other side. However, they seem to be doing the exact same thing, trying to blend in. A large crowd of traders, a marketplace that you have come across here, people bartering with the various things they have to try and get more things. You come around and stop short and think, oh, he's got to be close, but you don't
Yeah.
immediately see him. He's stopped running and is trying to sort of, catch his breath and move slowly, hoping that you will miss him.
All right. So, but I do know what he looks like, right?
Oh yes.
And so, so he's an armored individual with.
He's armored,
hair.
yes. Now, if with blonde hair, if he's just still in his armor and his blonde hair, it'll be easy to spot him, but maybe he's not.
Absolutely. So then I immediately say, as I burst out into the market, I was like, "That man there in the armor with the blonde hair, he stole my cat."
Make a deception check.
Don't mind if I do.
I love that.
What kind of a city is this full of catnappers?
17?
17, and I believe you have to knock 2
Oh.
off
I
of that.
have to knock
because
2 off of that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that is a failure, as it's not looking good for the group here.
Y'all, I have a plus
I
12.
had a 13 to my
Which means
insight.
I rolled a 5. That's like,
What
ugh.
happens? So again, because you failed, your next roll will be at a -2.
Now, Sean, is that a cumulative
no,
-2?
not cumulative. Just
All right, good.
So just next round.
Do you remember that you do have that inspiration? Or bardic inspiration.
I do.
She says, "Do remember that you have that inspiration."
Well, and then that's the thing, Sean. So, like, skill checks only? Am I allowed to use my cantrips and/or features?
Well, we've already had an attack roll, so
Yeah.
I would say that yes, that is kind of moving outside the spirit of a skill
check
but,
only?
but we can. I can work with you. Tell me what it is you want to do to sort of figure something out. But
I would give Dawn inspiration, but that's.
that you can do. I'll allow that absolutely. If you call
I'll
out
look at, and then I'll just look over at Dawn and be like, Dawn, for the love of cats.
Yes. For the love of cats, Dawn, what's it gonna be?
I'm going to attempt to use persuasion to try to get the crowd to point me in the direction of this man. This is blonde.
Do
Like
it
this is
now.
kind of what he looks like. Where have you seen this man? And I'm going to use persuasion to attempt to get the crowd
There's
to turn on him and tell me where he
There's
is.
a man there. He's eating an apple. Make a persuasion check, please. If you roll a natural 20, you can still win this.
Okay. But no, we're not.
Are
Right
we
now
even?
we've got 2 successes.
We're not even. It's
and 3 fails. So yeah,
2 successes, 3 failures. It has to be a natural 20.
Yeah.
No.
What if we tie?
it is not a natural 20. It's actually a 15.
Oh. What is with the 15?
Hold on.
Wait,
Slash 20, 10, right? Plus 5, so dirty 20.
That's a success, but it is not a natural 20. So the group has failed this as one. The person goes, "Yeah, I saw that guy. It's right over there," and points out the fellow who's running. Goes, "Damn!" Pulls down the hood of the cloak that he just grabbed off of a stall and put over, and begins to run again. However, that's 2 failures and only 1 success as the
Why? How kind of you to point that out, Sean. Thank you.
my job.
DC
Yeah, thank you.
It's a-
Yeah, it's a high DC.
It's high DC. I mean, you're high-level players too.
Yeah.
So there's that.
Apparently.
Not high-level rollers.
So let's
Yeah.
roll.
And this is why Niall doesn't
this
gamble.
could be the last roll, the last thing, as the individuals are very close to escaping. Let's roll initiative again, please.
Oh man.
All right.
Yeah,
Initiative,
me
I'm
too.
doing great.
And here I go again.
I got a crit on my initiative. Does that
One.
count for
It
something?
does. It gives you a very high
So-
initiative.
So tie, we fail. That's not
Useless.
ideal.
That doesn't feel like.
Yeah. So
Beats
I see
it.
Dusk with a 17. Dusk with a 17, Dawn with a 7, Win with a 22, Niall with a 25, Jack with an 11. At the top of the order, we have Niall with a
Jack, we're
25.
bringing up the rear.
Okay. What are the circumstances,
Indeed.
my friend?
So again, neither one of the 2 groups, neither one of you have the ability to know this, but again, somehow in sync, both Kelzir and Janos simultaneously decide to take a sudden turn, and it brings them face to face. As they do, they brandish their weapons, and violence suddenly erupts. The crowd of the street is in danger. And you could see the Nixian guard is beginning to arrive. They will be here shortly, but this turn is about trying to protect the crowd from the fighting that they are they're doing in order to not have any casualties due to this the fight that they're having. So at the top we have.
Can I make an investigation check in order to see what the best course of action to usher them in which direction, where I can safely move them?
Sure.
Right. It's an 18 with my -2.
18 is a
Oh,
success.
yes.
As you look at here and survey the situation here, there is a alley close to one of the streets would be a very likely place for them to begin to run. If there is a large tower of crates the ubiquitous traits of D&D. Just
Empty
everywhere.
Ubiquitous quates.
yes.
Oh no.
Ubiquitous quates. The ubiquitous quates of D&D. One for
On
your
top of the
wives.
palanquin.
Yes.
Yes.
Someone asked for a ubiquitous crepe? It's like, no.
If you knock them over, it will essentially block this alley and force at least one of them to move in perhaps a not advantageous direction.
I will call that out to
Alrighty.
Win and direct her to the
Indeed,
crates.
that is going to bring us then to Win with a 22.
All right. I'm going to follow that advice and do exactly that with an athletic check.
All right. Yes,
Great.
indeed. You shoulder into this tower of crates. If they were empty, it'd be easy, but they have something in them. So roll that athletics.
25.
That's a
Nice.
success. Easy. They come tumbling down, blocking off the alley as the fight between Kelzir and Janos begins again, both attacking each other with steel and chain. The sparks are flying. There is screaming from people trying to flee. And the Nixian Guard, you can hear loud, deep voices marshaling various forces to come and try and surround this area. Brings us to dusk.
Okay, so I would like to use survival to try to see if I can track where she's going. Like, you know, when you're looking, scanning the crowd, and you're trying to find one person that's going in the direction you expect.
Survival is not going to be the best choice for that, Dusk. Sounds like
Would
you're trying to make an
insight
insight check, but
Okay,
trying to disguise it as survival. But yes,
How dare.
okay. I'll
Good insight check there, Sean.
thank you.
Oh, damn it.
14. That's a failure. Your next roll has a -2.
Ugh. This one had a -2 too, so.
All right, so great. Or not great.
12.
So 12. Yes, that's a failure. So
Thanks,
it's 2
John.
successes,
Thanks.
1 failure. You have no idea what's about to happen. That's going to bring us to Jack. Jack,
Excellent.
You can see the entire group now. All of you have reconvened. Now you see your 2
Yeah.
quarries in the middle, and then you're on one end, and the rest of the group's on the other end of this alley.
So I'm going to use my light cantrip to begin making like little blinking siren lights around me. And I will say, please get off the street. Emergency. Emergency. Please get off the street.
Wee woo, wee woo,
Emergency.
wee woo.
This is a persuasion roll or
Persuasion
intimidation.
or performance, you tell me.
Doesn't seem very performance-like.
How dare you?
Can
I'm giving
can
my
you
best
give me a little
siren.
bit more? Can you give me a little bit more
Wee woo, wee woo.
showmanship?
No. Say either one is fine with me. So I will take your persuasion roll, sir.
Persuasion. Go for it.
Lovely. 26.
That's
you
a
go.
success. The group well on the way to succeeding this challenge. Dawn, it's yours to lose.
And then I'm gonna go ahead and give Dawn a little wink and a nudge and say,
Another bardic inspiration.
"Wee woo."
Right. So the people that you're coming up are frightened of what's happening, but they're more frightened of what's happening behind them as this wee woo comes into the and
Wee woo, wee woo.
and, they get out of your way and provide a clear path for the Nixian Guard to begin to close in on these individuals. Dawn?
Okay, so they're fighting.
Hmm.
What is going on? And I'm trying to protect the crowd, essentially.
Yes.
Okay. To attempt to do, well, that's no longer an option.
If only you were more performative, Jock.
I know, right? I couldn't emote siren. It's just...
Sorry, I'm trying to.
Kind of Shakespeare.
I know, right?
Now, if you had played the siren on your lute, like that would have definitely been a persuasion.
Oh.
I couldn't have played it through my shawl.
Hindsight.
I'm going to, I guess, attempt to look around and see if there's like a way I can start directing the crowd kind of like out of the way and like places I can kind of usher the crowd where they'll be a little safer. Did somebody do? Yeah, no, nobody did perception.
I don't think there has been a perception.
So I'm going to look around and just like, so I can start pointing out safer areas and ways for people to start making their way away from the Nixian Guard and these two who are fighting.
This way, please. Yes, you could definitely use a persuasion check to get an idea of where the safest place for innocent bystanders to run would be. That's a failure. So -2 to your next roll. However, as a group,
But you have
as
never
a
mind.
group,
Okay,
this
we
is a
have
success. So you are now at 2 and 2.
Yeah.
Alrighty, that's going to bring us to another round. Let's roll initiative.
Oh, it's
And
just so
remember-
stressful.
So stressful.
I know this is really
And
stressful.
then remember, Dawn, you still have that inspiration. So
Ugh.
I thought about using it.
Alrighty.
I was like, it's not worth it on this.
yeah, like we've already got.
All right, see, Niall with a 22, Dawn with a 10, Dusk with an 18, Win with a 17, Jack with a 10. What a well-oiled machine. Niall, you are first again. Let me tell you what's going on.
Yeah, do.
As the Nixian Guard begin to move into this area, you watch as Kelsier looks up and another maniacal grin begins to spread over her face as she sees one of these Nixian Guards, these gargoyles, flying overhead and attempting to get to a higher vantage point to call for reinforcements. And chain from her gauntlet shoots out and wraps around the leg of this individual, and he flies, and you watch as he takes off of the street and begins to be flown up into the air, essentially holding onto a chain which is around the leg of this guardsman as he flies up and away. And Janos sees this unfolding and puts away his sword. And as he does, he begins to leap. He leaps onto a balcony and then parkours from it to another balcony and is going up. And as he does, he takes out a crossbow and he's getting ready to fire at Kelsier as she's ready. But both of them have left the street and are now on a higher vantage point. So,
Oh God,
what do you do?
I have no idea.
Counts as a failure then.
Let's see.
Hey, whoa, wait.
Calm
Slow that
down.
down,
Okay,
Sailor.
give me a second. Okay. Can I do another investigation to see if I can give Win some advice on how to remove the crossbow situation from getting
Sure.
worse?
Roll an investigation.
All right. 16?
16 is a failure, my friend.
Holy
You
mackerel.
look around trying to get an idea if there's a spot that is perhaps treacherous that Wind shouldn't jump on, or if there is an idea of where of a place where Wind can get a better advantage or make better time. But in this brief moment that you have, this bizarre turn of events, watching as Kelsier takes off the ground, you're left stymied. There's nothing. I'm afraid.
Rolls are crap,
So that
friends.
is a failure.
Hey,
Moving
It's
on
alright.
to Dusk.
Can I use? God, I'm probably gonna say the wrong one again. So let's see.
No.
I would like to use my survival to try
Okay.
to figure out if there's a way to kind of climb up the buildings using stalls or people's heads or shoulders to get up on top to be able to get to a higher vantage point.
Maybe
towards them.
not people's heads or shoulders, but I will allow a survival check to sort of get an idea, like the same way that Janos seemed to know where to jump and distances for his parkouring and getting high up quickly. That I think would also be a survival.
Okay.
Sort of like mountain
What
climbing
is with the 15?
I'm
All of
only
us.
rolling.
Right? It's like been
I know I've been
Oh,
single
so
digiting the
frequently.
last several, except for my initiative.
Nope, that's a failure as
Crushing
well,
it.
I'm afraid. With a 15 Dusk, you look around, try to get an idea of some way that you could gain a little ground on these fleeing individuals, but you're not able to. Brings us to
Oh
Win.
my god. Well, she's athletics checking her way. I mean, the whole
Yeah.
time she has just been like fucking barreling and just
Yeah,
keeps
absolutely.
after it.
You know, just climbing up one of these
Oh,
sides.
you're pretty- yeah.
Absolutely athletics, 100%.
All right, here she goes.
freight train, get it.
24.
24 is a
There it
success.
is.
So 2 failures, 1 success. As you climb up, you're beginning to feel your breath beginning to burn in your lungs, your heart beating, but it is a feeling you're familiar with. You are able to get yourself up onto the same level, per se, that Janos and Elzier are at, so you will have a good look at either one of them and be able to continue the pursuit. Brings us to Jack.
All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and use a little. I want to combine my vicious mockery to do some, just some sick dissing on my crossbow shooting individual.
Okay.
So the idea being that you'll never make the shot. Unfortunately, your bolt is about as limp as your sword skills.
I'm going to call that an intimidation check.
An intimidation check.
Yes.
Sure.
So
Wait,
you're using vicious mockery.
Is that a good stat for you, Ryan? You could.
I mean, it's not, but
I tell you what, with the use of vicious mockery here, I will give you advantage on the roll.
Okay, take it.
all right. That is a 19 on the die with a +6.
God, 4.
That's a success.
God.
You're good.
So, yeah.
You're good.
And Barticus
So that's 3
I have
and 2.
Okay, good.
No, 2 and
We are
It's
currently
2
2
and 2. It's 2
We're all
and
back
2.
together,
Two,
though,
two,
now,
two.
aren't we?
2 and 2. It's down to you, Dawn. You have inspiration.
to Dawn.
I'm so upset for you.
I have inspiration,
I hate
but I
this so
also have
much.
-2. Okay. I'm so stressed out.
Can you have a heart attack and death?
Yes.
Yeah, right? 'Cause, like,
Good to
Just,
know.
just spontaneously
Yeah.
turn to ash.
Yeah.
don't worry, everybody. We only have to do this like 4 more times.
Oh my god.
Okay. I
Come on, you got it.
would like to use insight to try to figure out what this
Okay.
guy's next move is going to be, like what his plan is now that Jacques has yelled an intimidation and Wynn's running up a building at him. Like what his next, like what he's thinking to do next. Read his body
Alright.
language to see what he's going to do.
All right, I'll allow an insight check. Go for it. I mean, probably gonna keep running, but
28 minus 2 is 26.
Oh,
without
there we
using
go.
my bonus.
all right. So you're good. Yes, indeed, that counts as a success for the group. So that is now 3 successes and 2 failures for the group, creeping up on that win. So yeah, he's definitely he aims, shoots off a crossbow bolt, and you try to get an idea if he's planning to just hang out here and shoot another one, but you think no, he's getting ready to run. But so you direct everyone accordingly. Let's roll again.
Why?
Wait.
Can't we just get in a fight?
Yeah, seriously, we
Yeah.
would crush.
Okay.
Yeah.
We have to call out what you rolled. You started rolling before I could clear it.
Okay.
No worries.
No, that's
Sorry,
my
Sean.
fault. My fault. I should have. There's
At
a.
least
There's a.
I'm hoping that's the natural one that I got out of the way.
There it is. There it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
That
That was an 11 for Yacht.
All right, an 11. And what did Niall roll?
18.
18. Oh, guess who's going first again?
No, win.
When?
No, it's Wayne.
Yeah.
Really?
19.
I got 19.
Win wins.
I stand corrected. At the top of the order, we do have Win.
Looks like you were just denied.
And
Fine, I don't need to
tell
go
us
first.
what's up.
Yes, indeed. So, Kelsier, the Nixian guard, lands, and as he does, she does once again zip into a shadow and continues running further away. But you have a clear look on her thanks to your athletics check earlier. She reaches out and grabs a passerby, and shouts at his face, her face twisted in rage. It's hard for you to make out what it is she's saying, but it is probably something to the effect of, "How do I get out of here?" This is going to just be the distance is all you have to cover here. I assume you're going to use
Yes,
athletics
I'm
again.
just going after her.
All right. Very good.
9. Oh.
9. That's a failure. -2 in your next roll. That shadow step that she did, it entirely unfair. She was up on a roof and now she's back down on the street, and you have to get down the hard way. Your muscles are being screamed. It's gonna bring us to Niall.
I mean, can I stealth myself into a position where I can read her lips and see, what it is that she's saying, so I can communicate to my party members?
The stealth is less.
I know, it's not
really. It's
really,
gonna be more of a perception.
All right, I'll do perception.
If you can figure out another way that stealth could be useful.
Not in
I
this
can't either.
situation. Not off the top of my head. All right, we'll do
All right.
perception. That is that's a critical fail, Sean. I got a 1 on the
That
die.
is-
I'm sorry.
3 failures.
Okay, but wait.
Somebody could
So
crit.
But
technically,
one of us could crit.
Crit
If the
fish.
rest of us succeed and one of us crits,
and then one of us
Yeah.
crits.
that's
Does
the only
that-
way to do it.
That then would be a success.
That's the only way
That's the
that we
only way.
can-
That's the only way
yeah.
this wins.
I hate this so much.
I don't
But you
want
love
to
it, though,
Why
right?
are we rolling so badly? Just
Okay.
Guys,
statistically,
though, 8 successes versus 3 fails was not great odds. So
Yeah,
I
this
think
is what I'm
Hey,
saying,
we're doing our-
right?
you know, we're doing our
perfectly
best.
achievable odds for people of your skill. The dice had a different thing to say. That's going to
Yes,
bring
they
us
did.
to Dawn.
oh,
As you're not able to tell what is being said.
Yes, I got nothing.
Jack, the person you are following, seems to do something similar, except instead of grabbing, he sort of reaches out and grabs a hair, and you see him pleading.
okay. So he's pleading with somebody, and she. Okay.
And she's threatening. Yeah.
You definitely insight that.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to insight check him again. I'm just gonna try to see what
All right,
what his plan here is.
Yeah.
where's that critical?
Come on.
Can I use detect thoughts to give myself advantage?
I
Yes.
love it. That was so smart.
I like rolling more dice.
Nice.
That's good.
Good thing I gave myself advantage because one of those was a 1. I rolled a 24.
All right,
What?
so your thoughts go out. You get the surface thoughts of this individual, desperation and a query, and escape on his mind. That's gonna bring us to Jack.
All right, I look to win and see her struggling to keep up with this bee, and I immediately cast fly on
We say
her.
shit in
I
front
know,
all the
we've been-
time, and nobody wants to
I
say
know.
bitch. Kinda
This
weird.
is the word that we've decided is too far.
This is how
Not
she
for me.
identified her.
was-
That's
Yeah.
I mean, so I see. So I immediately cast fly on her, and as I do that, I go into a sick lute string of Flight of the Valkyrie words. And it's just if I can give her that inspiration on
You
it.
gotta finish it.
Thank you for
Thank you.
finishing it.
So bardic inspiration to her, absolutely.
Mhm.
What is your skill check?
A performance.
Ah, I see. Roll that performance check, please. Let's see that critical.
You can do it.
We need
You
it.
can do it.
Come
I
on,
believe
dude.
in you.
I don't even know if I want to do it on the actual. Should I do actual
Do
dice?
it.
I don't.
Get it over with.
Fuck, I'm just gonna roll actual dice.
Say it.
You'll have to show it if you get it.
No, so I got a nat 1 and 13 actually on the die. So that's so 13.
Are you at advantage for some reason?
Oh, no, I wouldn't be at advantage, would I? That's I don't know why. I rolled
The
two.
question then becomes, which did you roll first?
Which
Both of them at the
one?
same time. I heard them go, didn't
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
rolled them at
well,
the same
one of
time.
them. Yeah.
or
You gotta flip a
re-roll.
coin.
We're gonna flip a
Re-roll.
coin. No, you got a
No,
natural
no,
roll in
no.
there. Okay, we're gonna-
All right, so there's one in the box, and there's one on the table.
Okay.
So we'll say what?
Which one, show and box or table?
It's up to you. Odds or evens?
Odds. So the one in the box is
They're both odd.
odd, and the
They're
one
Dragging this
odd.
out, man.
Just
Just flip a coin, dude.
Mentally exhausted by this chase. Oh
All right, good. So that was a 2. So yeah, it was the 13 then.
13
So-
is still a
no,
failure.
that's on the dice.
but
Plus,
it's plus
Nice.
12,
No, the 13 on the die
Oh,
without
gotcha.
the
So
bonus.
the
which is a
total
25.
That's a success.
Or
All right,
There it
so
is. Good God.
that comes down to dusk.
And things have been going very
need
well.
a
for
crit
Oh,
us
It's
so
gotta
far.
be. A
I know all of us,
natural-
darling.
It's gotta be a natural 20, or both
But
of
you've
these
already
individuals
rolled the
escape.
1, right?
you got this.
Yeah, then I could. Okay.
Come on, sissy poop.
Come on.
I'm going to insight.
I already incited.
See how I can follow.
Yeah,
Oh,
insight
you're
might have
No,
been
she
different.
already
Surviving.
It doesn't matter what the skill is because
Yeah.
you need a 20.
Well, it does
regardless.
matter what the skill,
So
what
you
the
can.
skill is. I mean,
I mean,
for the story.
for logistical, yes, for the
I
story.
am
survival.
wrecking my prey.
Can you?
Try-
Is there anything you can try to give yourself?
Yeah, I would.
Is there anything you can try to give yourself advantage on, Dusk?
You have
I
a
mean, I
special ability or a skill?
Hugo, like,
or a spell?
can Hugo be helping you?
Yeah, can I just like throw Hugo?
No.
How would that help?
Just scare them.
That would certainly help in tracking.
Intimidate them.
I mean, I don't know if casting fear helps because that just makes them run away from me.
But can't you mark them with like the essence of your god or something like that?
I mean, I wish that'd be really fucking cool.
But
Just
she's a
roll.
bee.
Uh,
Um,
there's the there.
I will allow
I mean, if-
survival. You know, tracking the prey. That makes
If-
sense. I mean, I can see how that would work.
If I make them have to have disadvantage on attack rolls, saving throws, or ability checks,
I
does
would
that help
I would
you?
allow you to do that, but that would apply, I think, to the next round.
okay.
Which there might not be
So
one.
Can't hurt.
there might not be one.
Well,
If
hey,
you're looking for
but-
something right now, that's not going to help.
No, there's no way I can.
It's okay.
I'm not
you
not
know
built
what?
for
5%
this.
is
Roll a nat
5%.
20.
Yeah,
That's all. That's all. It's just
Fine.
that easy. Okay.
It happens. It happens.
does?
And it's
Okay.
going to happen
does?
right
It
now.
happens.
Let's see it.
Yes, it will.
A natural one.
You got a natural one.
Technically, you did make the 5%.
You did crit. You did crit.
You did crit.
Well, my friends, as has been said before, the dice tell a story. And
I'm gonna start
sometimes that
rolling
story
physical.
is screw you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Oh my god.
as the chase continues,
Ugh.
all of you, exhausted through various means, their quarry gets further and further away. Kelzir seems to have intimidated somebody into telling her which way to go. Janos seems to have been able to plead with someone to tell them which way to go. And as the air fills with more and more Nixian guard, it becomes clear that both of these individuals have made their way at least out of this area and perhaps out of Nox Valar itself and are gone.
We're not used
And
to
Corcoran
failing.
Pebblemoss remains unavenged. My friends, that will bring us to the end of our session tonight.
you.
I want to thank my amazing players who don't
No,
like
how
me
dare
very
you.
much.
Thank
We got
us.
so many nat ones in that last round. If we didn't
Hey.
have
It's not my
advantage
fault.
on some of
We
those,
really
would have
did.
had so many crit fails in that last round.
Yeah.
Like,
It happens.
we were supposed to fail.
It's a good cure for hubris.
It
Uh-huh.
is. I like that attitude.
Mhm.
I could use more of that in my own life, at any rate. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you would like to win some cool stuff, go to Storyteller's Forge right now. The Discord is in the chat. It's right in the chat on Discord, Severed Threads, and you will be entered into a giveaway to win some cool stuff. Incidentally, Storyteller's Forge, the sponsors of this stream, and we are extremely grateful. One of the sponsors of the stream, I should say. We're extremely grateful, and they have a crowdfunding campaign going on right now for some novels that are set in this same area, going through the same sort of things that the players just went through. I wonder if the characters in that will have rolled as many natural ones.
How dare you?
You can find out by reading the book.
Get the book. Send us a letter. Let us know how many natural ones you rolled.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, I would be very intrigued to see how many people get the 3 versus the 8. That's good.
The chrono. Boy. The Chronicles of the Crossing is what it's
We're making intimidation checks.
If you would like to
here,
win some dice, then you can enter my Discord, a medium rare. The link is in the chat. Mention this the stream, and if you win, you will be sent some lovely dice for your collection. If you enjoy the music that you're listening to right now, you have Drake and Dia Morte to thank for that. Sponsors of this podcast, we're very grateful, and we love their music and the atmosphere and the excitement it brings to this adventure. The excitement that no doubt had some part to play in the level of agita that just occurred in this in this chase. Many thanks to Dia Morte. If you like the art that you're seeing for the characters here, you should check out Kai. She did amazing work on our character art, and would love to see some more of her work with some of your characters. So please check her out. Her information is on the chat as well. And I am a DM for hire. If you enjoy what's going on here, having a good time, and would like some of it for yourself, please send me a message on Discord. We should chat, and I would love to be your DM. If you enjoy my particular brand of DMing, you can get more of it by listening to Echoes of Kryn, podcast that I run. One of our players here tonight, Samus, is in that, as well as the cameo we had earlier. Again, many thanks to Panda for coming in and playing Teely Tumblewood here with us tonight.
And if I can plug for you, Sean, I have to say, having played a lot of Dungeons and Dragons in my life, Sean is unequivocally the most masterful, sensitive, insightful, and fun DM 100%. I have ever worked with. So if you want a live Dungeons and Dragons experience, you
could
will
not agree with that more.
Appreciate that very much.
Yeah.
Well, it helps.
He's also not afraid to be a real son of a bitch too. So.
Again, as I like to say, it wasn't me. It was the story. And I should say it's a lot of fun to play, to be a DM when you have such fantastic players. I enjoy even your failures. I enjoy how much fun you seem to have with those. I had a great time tonight. Hope you did too. Say goodbye, everybody, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye,
Don't be scared to fail.
My friends. Rest in peace, Corcoran.
R.I.P. Corcoran.
Justice for Pebble Moss.
Let's make posters.
Good night.
Can any truly explain to me what it means to be divine? These caterwauling holy servants have no better understanding of divinity or where their supposed power comes from than the very gods they worship themselves. Warlocks strike their deals directly with patrons. Wizards spend decades mastering their craft. Sorcerers are lucky enough to be born with it. A fighter wears their battle scars proudly to prove their mastery. Yet clerics only need pray to fall in line, recite the dogma, and raise the symbol of their god. A god who, in turn, parcels out the power of their self-proclaimed domain. My place in this drama is merely to highlight the problem, but the solution, the choice to act, must be someone else's. Perhaps it is you who will lead the divine orchestra to crescendo, or maybe you will simply sit idly by listening to the melody of a cosmos destroying itself. Either way, you will participate. willingly or not. Welcome to the Black Ballad.